A Niner fam. Happy Sunday to you, fam. Well, it seems from Shanahan, Trey's time has arrived. The Niners players, as you know, will be reported to the Santa Clara facilities on April 19th to start the voluntary conditioning program for the upcoming 2022 season. On May the 23rd, OTAs will be underway. Can you imagine already it's time to climb into the season, right? This is what happens when you go into the playoffs every year, or when you go into the playoffs in a year. It seems like time just collapses really quickly into the next season, which is not good for the players because they don't recuperate in time usually, or not fully. But I think they'll be ready this year. Coach Kyle Shanahan says it will be the time when he will assess the growth of his sophomore QB, as you know, Trey Lance. Tonight, taking your phone calls for your thoughts on what exactly will it take to pass the eye test for Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan and his coaching colleagues as to the readiness of Mrs. Lance's baby boy Trey. The month of May. I couldn't wait to do it. Wait, don't boo me. Oh, the tomatoes are coming. Hey, oh, by the way, after going unsigned during the 2020 NFL season, Frankie Gore is officially retiring. All right, because we've been waiting for him. Is he going to say this or what? He did. Our five-time Pro Bowl running back said he plans to sign a one-day contract this offseason with the San Francisco 49ers before officially walking away for good. Frank retweeted the NFL Network, who wrote, Frank Gore, the NFL's third all-time leading rusher, 16,000 yards, announces he's signing a one-day contract with the 49ers and will retire, unquote. Frankie retweeted that. Yeah, he's right to do so, too, because, wow, Frankie, I'm still pissed off with Trent Baalke. Because Trent was lying to us and telling us that he was going to do the best he could to re-sign Frank Gore coming up into the 2014 season. And we all know that didn't happen because we always drafted Carlos Hyde, and we put Frankie out to pasture. See, Trent, you know what? Carlos Hyde was never anything like Frank Gore, even at that point in his career. I know Carlos looked like a ball of thunder coming in, but man, you could have kept Frank. It's too late. Anyway, Frank Gore has been a model of consistency and health over the course of his career. Frankie missed only 15 games in 16 seasons. For a running back, that is unheard of. If for that reason alone, no matter how many yards he had, if he played any substantial time each and every year out of 16 years and only missed 15 games, that should put him in the Hall of Fame right there as a running back in the modern day NFL running back. And it was worse when he first started, too. Headhunting was allowed. It was encouraged. He is third on the NFL's all-time leading rushers list with 16,000 yards, and his 241 games played are the most ever by a running back. And they should have been all with the 49ers. Trent Baalke. And aside from a potential front office job, Frankie G will now wait a few years to see whether he'll be fitted for a gold jacket or not. I don't even want to entertain that. His long-term consistency makes him a seeming lock for the HOF. But some are saying he was never dominant at the NFL level. Those in that camp say he moved the chains often in chunks of 4 or 5 yards a pop and kept his body healthy enough to be on the field. Oh, there's critics for every little thing, right? And that the hall is filled with players who had shorter but flashier careers. Gore's candidacy will illuminate how much the committee values longevity over burning bright. Fam, does that piss you off? It really does. It burns me right up. Don't start coming up with excuses for a guy who's done more than anybody in the NFL at that position. And when I say in terms of being there, getting it done, Frankie's had some great plays down through the years and was instrumental in the 49ers on too many occasions after Harbaugh got there to make sure that we did get what we got. And Frank, I still blame Harbaugh for not giving Frankie the ball in that Super Bowl that he obviously, and I would have bet anybody Frank was coming in. Oh, hell yeah, he was coming in. They weren't going to stop him. No, we got back and throw a pass to Gabriel. Okay. But anyway, I want to know, Frankie Gore, should he be put in the Hall of Fame? Are the critics on target? Sons of SOBs. Let's get Coach Shanahan believes Trey Lance's most important practices since being drafted by the Niners are on the horizon. Coach shared that T. Lance is diligently preparing for the upcoming offseason program while in SoCal. Lance will be getting all of the first-team reps during OTAs. The challenge for Trey will be how well he can make the most of the short practice time before the guys break for the summer. Coach Shanahan and Trey will only have 9 practices together and then will not be able to work on a field together again until training camp at the end of July. Shanahan said on Tuesday while at the NFL annual meetings, quote, "When you're away, it's just preparing to come back and compete. It's the hardest thing about football. That's why the offseason is so important because you can't practice football," unquote. And Coach went on to use the example of basketball because the players, during the offseason, NBA players can go play in a pickup game at any local court if they're that stupid. You know that tournament in New York City they hold every summer? Boy, ooh, they should put that on television. Some of the best ballers in the planet are playing in that New York tournament every summer. And NBA players go out there, and they get their butt beat every now and then. You know, that tournament is, ooh, they take it seriously. Football players do not have that same luxury, though. They can stay in shape and practice the skills that will help them on the field, but they can't actually practice playing the game. NFL players that need to practice the sport to get better, and there's not much time provided for that. Trey's preparing hard for these 9 OTA days. That's all he'll have. That's when he can come back and that he can get the most out of the 9 practices you're allowed to do with them because that is how you get better, unquote. Kyle Shanahan, of course. Shanahan's not worried about Trey's focus, but does want to make sure Lance takes advantage of every rep he can during OTAs. And I'm sure Kyle's going to know how to temper his thoughts, what he's saying. You can't be too severe. You've got to really still look at potential. Even if Jimmy Garoppolo still is on the roster, surgery on his throwing shoulder will prevent him from participating in team activities until July at the earliest. OTAs will be Lance's time to get valuable experience through reps on the field with the first team. This is the secret, right? This is what unlocks it all right there. Now he's going to be given real live situations as to what's going to happen. Now, OTAs is a little early for that. As far as I'm concerned, the guy's just coming back, just getting their legs under them. Timing, a lot of things are going to be a little rough, mostly around the edges. But Coach Shanahan is looking forward to seeing how T. Lance will progress mainly. Coach Shanahan is further quoted saying he is always working on staying in shape, trying to develop everything. That's kind of what you do on your own. And then when you come to play football, it's all right. Now it's time to practice, and hopefully you've done everything in the offseason that allows you for the moment, unquote. So, T. Lance is not alone in SoCal. Coach Shanahan reported that Brandon Ayuk and Nate Sudfeld are among the several players that have gathered to work together prior to OTAs. Tonight, looking for your thinking on what you're expecting from T. Lance that is busting butt to put any ideas of Jimmy G possibly continuing with the 49ers as a starter in the rearview mirror. Trying to think like Coach Shanahan, fam. Can you do it? What will he be looking for that he hasn't already seen that will further convince him and boost Coach's confidence that he is ready to lead, that Lance is ready to lead the team to the playoffs at minimum? Love to hear it. Let me put on my ears and go to the phone. All right. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
It's the 49ers Ultimate Report. Johnny, John, come on in, man. We're looking at Frank Gore, and some people think that he hasn't done anything special other than stay healthy. And then you got, and that's why he should not be considered in the Hall of Fame. I actually slammed a guy on Twitter today about that. Boy, I had gave him some gifts. Boy, what are you talking about? They're right. Frank Gore has never done anything to carry a ball club. Anyway, your feeling on that, as well as T. Lance, when he comes back into camp, is he going to dazzle Kyle Shanahan into believing that, yes, he's got it?
Yeah, so first, Frank Gore, congratulations. He's deciding to retire as a 49er. I remember during those tough days, with Mike Nolan, Mike Singletary, Frank Gore was always someone you can rely on. And, even though we weren't really good, Frank Gore had so many great moments during that era. And it was just so tough for us to, the Niners, not help him get that Super Bowl, that I think no Niner fans want to talk about in 2012. But he was the guy, he was healthy. A lot of people like, oh, he was hurt in college. He's not going to do really well. And he shocked everyone. And he said, I think in an interview said that everyone counted me out. They said, oh, I'm not going to stay healthy. And look what he did. He's up there with Hall of Famers, at the rushing. If anyone does not give Frank Gore credit, you're not a 49er fan. You're probably one of those, haters, because, you didn't see Frank Gore. So I wanted to say that to Frank Gore. And I'm glad that he says that he wants to be part of the Niners in like some form with the operations, so he really loved playing with the 49ers. Yeah. Yeah. For Trey Lance, I've been saying this, for, now, his second, off season, getting ready, is that he's going to be fun to watch. I don't really do predictions. I don't really am going to say he's going to, light up the league. I think, what Jimmy did, Kyle used all the strength that he had to make him work. And, when you're able to have a quarterback who, Jimmy Garoppolo, who there's people who still hate him, people who like him, but we could all have faith that, Trey Lance is going to be fun to watch. And even though he only played 2 games, a lot of people he needed more sample size. And, like our division, they're making fun of Trey Lance. Oh, he's going to be a bust. I'm going to let all those division rivals know Trey Lance is going to be fun to watch. What he can do, with his legs, be able to keep the plays alive, throw the football, allowing the receivers to get open. And of course, we'll finally have a guy who'll be able to air it out. We saw that in the preseason with Trent Sherfield. So I'm very confident in Trey Lance. I'm not going to say he's going to light up the league. I think Kyle will still run the football. I think Trey will be okay. He has, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, what's his name, Elijah Mitchell. He has great weapons. He has a good support cast. So I'm not worried about Trey Lance.
All right, and that's a good thing. What did you see anything last year that you think really needs some work and may be polished up in terms of some of the technique you see down in the field, some of the decision making? Anything that you saw that may have been something that really could use a little tightening up on, John?
Yeah, one of the things that he has to learn is he has to learn how to slide, because every time he takes off running, he goes down head first, and that's scary because you don't want your future quarterback, the quarterback for years to come, to get hit in the head, because if he's going to dive forward, the tacklers are going to go head first. And so that's a little scary thing for him to do. So, if he can learn how to slide, and avoid the tackles, when he doesn't have to, that's one thing that he has to do. And of course, he does have to slow down the speed of the football. Like when he throws the ball short, like that 10-yard area, for whatever the reason, I don't know, maybe it's something that they did in North Dakota, but when he's just flinging it out there, but when he throws the ball a little bit further, I think he needs to do the same thing when he's throwing the short passes. I think just like any quarterback, they don't want to get sacked, so they try to get that ball out there. So I think if he cleans those things up, now as I mentioned, I'm unbiased, and I'm just saying every quarterback has to polish certain things of their play, and I think if he's able to clean all those things up, he'll have a good first year as a starter. That's just my thoughts.
That thing about the head first, you're right. I hadn't thought about that. he does seem to tilt forward like he's getting ready to run, and that's a giveaway too. If you do that, he does do that. Doesn't he? When he gets ready to go, he drops his shoulder and he gets in motion like a train. You've got to fool people like Russell Wilson and all the guys that are great at running. Just take off. Don't go and do any routine motion. Just go or not. Yeah, that's a good point, John. I hadn't thought about that. And that way, at least you'll be in position to slide. Because, frankly, he does take a while to stand up and drop to the ground and slide because he's already leaning forward. Good point. And we don't need him getting hurt.
Ronbo, yeah. Well, Ronbo, I'm going to keep it short. I know we have a lot of callers, but it's always great taking my call. So it's always fun calling in, man.
Hey, I always appreciate you, John, because I know you don't have a lot of time to get in here. So, John, appreciate you tonight, fam. He's 49ers Ultimate Report. You can catch him right here on YouTube. John, we'll talk later, okay? We'll be back tomorrow.
And of course, yeah. And shout out to Norm, wherever he's at. It's Niners all day.
like, fam. Let's go over and check out Fly Guy. Fly Guy. Fly Guy. Come on in, fam. Yeah. Fly Guy. Yeah, we're talking about Frank. Frankie Gore has came in and tweeted out and said, yeah, I'm about to hang it up. I'm going to get that one day. Me and Jed been talking. I'm going to go in and sign that one-day contract. I'm going to retire like I wanted to retire. I told y'all I was going to come back and retire as a 49er. He's about to get that done. But Fly Guy, some people are trying to say that Frank Gore has no business being inserted into the Hall of Fame because he never did compare to some of the NFL's real big-time glory boys. All he did was stayed healthy and stayed on the field. Like Fly Guy, people don't think that's hard to do? Are you kidding me? 15 times. That's all Frank missed out of 16 years of football. And the dude's going to tell me that ain't special? Get out of here with that. I want to get your feeling on that. And also, you got Trey Lance coming in. Kyle's going to need to be impressed as to the progress he made. Can Trey bring stuff back that he didn't show Kyle just a couple of months ago within the amount of time he's had to work out? And will it be enough? What are you expecting?
Yeah, oh my God, Frank Gore. Okay, Frank Gore. He is not the best running back. He one of the healthiest running back. He's not the best. He's the one of the healthiest. Because if you think about, he got 16,000 yards. If he plays 16 seasons, that's 1,000 yards a season. So he's an average running back. So bringing him back to the 49ers, it would help because he stay healthy, and we can pound him with Gore, and then hit him with because all our running backs are like light. They very light. We don't have a solid running back that can take hits. Like Mitchell. Mitchell can't take all that hits. He's gonna be wear out soon.
Yeah, I worry about him. Every week he was laid
Frank
up.
Gore can take
Every
those
week.
Hits. Frank Gore got the body to take the hit. He's very low to the ground, and he got some big legs, so he can take those hits. And he's not light, so it's a good fit if you want to bring him in on third down to wear out the defense. It's like, let him keep hitting the linebackers. Let him keep hitting the linebackers, and then we hit him with somebody fast like Jeff Wilson.
Don't leave out the part that Frank Gore didn't care how big the dude was that was coming in to get his quarterback. Frank would lay him out. That one clip I got, I got to put that up again. This monster, I think it was one of the Chicago Bears. This dude was huge. Frank beat his ass. I mean, Frank took him down. Look at Frank. Like a Wolverine.
So in the running back position, we'll have a veteran like we did like with Emmanuel Sender in the wide receiver a couple of years ago. But with the Trey Lance, it's time we get fully behind Trey Lance and let him develop. Because just like last year, we had Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. They didn't do that good, but the team still stuck behind him. We don't want him to just go out there and feel like if you don't get to the playoff, you automatically sorry. So we don't want to make him feel like that. We wanted to give him a chance to learn. Even though our first season is not that good, but if we see the development, we can go with that to the next year. Just like Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, they didn't do that good. They did okay, but not that good.
But like I remember, Zach and Trevor, look at the teams they had, though. Also the same thing with Justin Fields over in Chicago. You got to look at the teams they have. Now, if and then you look to the other extreme. You look at Mac Jones over in with the Patriots. If you have a collection of talent around you, you've got to make it work. I mean, you need to. Because the 49ers just take a step back to groom in a new quarterback. It's not. You can't do that. You need to bring in. Otherwise, you go ahead and you stay with the veteran until that kid's ready. So but like the Green Bay Packers are doing, they're not going to bring in Jordan Love. Well, and I'm not making any comparison between Jimmy and Aaron Rodgers, but I am saying that if the team's going to keep on winning, fine. Or like they did in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes came in after Alex Smith and the team kept going. If you have good talent, though, you do have to capitalize on that. So if you're not capable of doing that, there's no point in making that change.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's all about chemistry. So if he ever played with Kittle or Debo before, it's all about the team having the chemistry. So the first it might be a struggle. Who knows? It might go good. We don't know that. But we can't automatically think the next year's not going to be better. It's all about chemistry. But we got to stay fully behind Trey Lance. We don't want to hear nothing about Jimmy G. It's over. It's over. I'm done with the Jimmy G talk. Let's trade Jimmy G right now and save the cap space. And I was thinking about we can bring in OBJ. Just like we had Emmanuel Sanders. Think about Debo Samuel, OBJ, and Ayuk, Trey Lance. Now you got all the weapons you need to make it happen. OBJ would be a good fit for the 49ers.
OBJ,
we need somebody who can...
see if you can find somebody. OBJ hasn't even started rehabbing. I think he started rehabbing his ACL. I don't know if that's...
but it is the time to get him now because right now he just want a chance to play. Yeah, he just want a chance to play now. He want to prove that. Yeah, he want to prove that. Yeah, I want a chance to prove myself, and 49ers would be a good fit for him. We don't want to wait till he gets fully healthy, and then now he's talking about.
Well, the thing is,
we can bring him in.
But from a business end, you don't want to pay him. I don't know what he's going to ask for, but if you're healing up from that leg, you're probably not going to play this year. My guess is OBJ is not going to be ready till the end of the season, if at all. So he is out, Fly Guy. So but you still got JJ, and you got Ayuk, and you got, of course, the Debo. So, if you're going to get OBJ, get him for reasons like $1 million contract. When you get back next year, we'll reconsider or something like that.
So
if
you won't be able to play this year? You won't be able to play this year?
An ACL, fam. You think he's going to be able to come back really quickly?
How about Bosa? How about Nick Bosa? He got hurt. Okay. No. He got hurt in the Super Bowl. Okay, I see what you're trying to say.
No, Bosa got hurt. He got beginning of last year or 2020, right?
Yeah,
so it took him a whole year.
OBJ. Yeah, OBJ. So he got hurt in the Super Bowl. So this year would be a full year for him recovering. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking he got hurt in the season where this year would be almost time to return.
Yeah, no.
So I was on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, but we do need a veteran receiver. Because you see how it helped us before. Well, we don't want to just have Debo and Ayuk and
Debo. I don't know. Debo's pretty much a vet now, I would think. I'd have to look at him that way now because he's been there, seen that everything you can possibly go through pretty much by now. Ayuk's in his second year. He's not a rookie, or third year, should I say? Yeah, he's no longer a rookie. So I don't know that we really need a veteran that badly.
Well, we do need a veteran, man. Like, when I say a veteran, somebody who have experience, like playoffs. They got 10 years in the NFL, like 7 years, 8 years. Like a veteran, like they're going to teach the young guys around them. Like,
I know what you mean.
Like, you see how Emmanuel Sanders, they don't want Emmanuel
Sanders. You're spending money for what reason? I mean, I think that they still got Sanu. I don't know that they're going to re-sign him, though, unless there's some injury or something. I keep him on retainer, I guess. Yeah.
Sanu didn't caught not one pass last year. So why they have Sanu?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're going to go out and get somebody worth a while, you got to spend a lot of money, though, fam. I don't know. I still want that speech to myself, though. I need that kid out of school that runs me a 4.3 and, over the veteran.
Yeah,
that's just me.
That year Emmanuel Sanders came to the offense, he almost caught a 1,000-yard reception. Almost. So that just show you that Yeah, that year he almost had a 1,000-yard reception.
They needed, you know what though? They needed him then because remember, you only had a rookie Debo, you had Kendrick Bourne, and you had a couple other guys. Oh, Dante Pettis. You had a couple other guys. We were like a fledgling wide receiver room. There was nobody, you know. So that's why when Sanders came along, it was a blessing. Now you turn Debo's game around. And then you also you got Kendrick Bourne had a great year actually. See, you got lucky, but now you don't really need because you got Debo and Brandon Ayuk, so you're not really hurting for that presence now as much as you were back then.
Our whole team is like a youngsters. The whole team. Think about the receiver crew: Jordan Jennings, Debo, Ayuk, quarterback Trey Lance. Everybody's like youngsters. If you think about it, the whole offense is youngsters.
Well, yeah, but
running back Mitchell,
there's still experience. You got a lot of experience in that wide receiver room now. You didn't in 2019, but you do now.
Yeah, I'm not talking about experience. I'm talking about like youngsters, like the running back position. Jeff Wilson and Mitchell, they are very young. Receivers are very young. And quarterback.
So not you're talking about leadership, not necessarily needed at the wide receiver spot, just offensively, because
we need somebody that's like somebody you can depend on. Like we can depend on like a Jerry Rice. You can depend on Rice to catch a few balls like when it counted the most. We need Debo doing it right now, but he needs some help. He needs some help, but we can't use Debo.
You don't like Ayuk?
Yeah, I do like Ayuk, but he's not that guy you like. Third down coming to you, like we need you, like boom. He catches big balls, but Kyle is not letting him play freely. Like it's more like
you got George Kittle
thing, like
on third down like, as well.
Yeah, like Debo. When Kyle need the first down, he knows to go to Debo. That's what I'm trying to say. We need somebody that we know. This is fourth down. We going to you like a Kittle, like. But we do have good players, though. I'm just saying.
They'll be fine with that. And they don't have to go outside, not necessarily a wide receiver veteran, because they're going to be most of your good wide receiver veterans. If you're not you're wasting money unless you're paying 16 to 18 million, because anybody less than that, you've already got on the roster now, much better. So you don't need to get anybody cheap, and they can't afford anybody expensive. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to see Ray. I think I like the way he run the ball.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got juice. Just got to make sure it's working out right.
But let's just focus on Trey Lance. Let's leave that Jimmy G thing alone. Let's focus on this. Let's trade Jimmy G. Let's save the cap space. And if we don't like what Trey Lance doing this year, next year we definitely got to get a QB.
You're already looking forward to drafting a QB after 1 year.
When I mean get a QB, that means Lance can fall back again to the backup role. And then
we better get more than 1 year though, fam. Like I'll be looking for you tomorrow if you got some time. All right. All right, fam. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Emilio. Emilio.
Hey, that was fast.
Yeah, because people are busy today, so you didn't have to wait.
Oh, I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. You got in here early ahead of everybody else.
Who was the one that was just on? Who was just on?
That was Fly Guy.
Okay, Fly Guy. Yeah, he's tripping a little bit about Brandon Ayuk. You're talking about you seen what he can do when we had Mullins and who's the other guy? CJ Beathard. It's just I'm still on Jimmy couldn't get him the ball. Every time Jimmy could, he would either throw the ball in danger or overthrow him. No, and I said when Ayuk was in, when Lance was in, he was getting him the ball. I don't know. It's always the quarterback that's the problem sometimes. So
I don't know. Ayuk had a lot of yards
I think Ayuk is pretty good.
Yeah.
I just say. I think Ayuk is going to have a breakout year.
I talk about the exaggerations. And against the Bengals, Jimmy hit Ayuk perfectly for that touchdown that helped us win the game. Why do people forget all that stuff? I don't understand.
No, I don't forget. I'm just saying. It was you could tell it was a lot of the time.
Cardinals, and he fumbled it. Whose fault was that? So that's what I'm saying. I sometimes this is
why.
The
same thing when you look at Kittle.
Yeah,
but Jimmy had a good. No, I'm not going to knock it. Jimmy had a good game. Jimmy had a good game that game. But,
No, but you said
if it wasn't for that Ayuk fumble, and if it wasn't for the Kittle fumble, I think we would have beat that. But then what beat us
won the game.
was the run game. We were doing horrible in that run game.
That's what I'm saying. Ayuk, I don't know that he was so deprived. I mean, from getting passes. Anyway, I was actually wanting to know about Frank Gore and the thought that he may not be a Hall of Famer. And are you delighted he's coming back to San Francisco?
Oh, no. If he don't become a Hall of Famer, something wrong. He's the third time in all rushing. I don't see why he wouldn't become I don't see why he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer. Didn't he just pass Walter Payton?
I think so. Because is he number 3?
Yes. I don't see why he wouldn't be a first-time ballot. 3?
You know what? Remember Franco Harris came out of retirement? Who was that running back that Franco said, listen, oh, no, you know what? It was Jim Brown. Franco Harris had a lot of yards, and Jim Brown came out. Look, the only reason he's out there is because he won't retire. He ain't better than me. Jim came out there, and Franco smoked him.
But then you also got to realize why Barry Sanders retired. Barry Sanders didn't want to break Jim Brown records.
You think so?
It always falls on it always falls on what each player wants to do.
Yeah,
some people want to go for it
all.
Got
that much passion towards some of the guys in history. Could be.
Yeah. And then you look at Emmett. Emmett wouldn't have had all those yards for that line that I was just saying Emmett wouldn't have had all those yards if it wasn't for that online they had in Dallas.
Oh man, Emmett Smith. But think about it, Barry, for a second though. If you were playing in Detroit, and it looks like people in Detroit, everybody wants out. They can't get out. But if they can, they take every opportunity to get the hell up out of Detroit. Don Birdman, you need to get up out of Detroit too. But can you imagine that? Some of the greatest football players of all time, Megatron, Barry, even Stafford to a degree, and others.
Barry was going to get out of Detroit, but that was Dan Marino's fault. Barry Sanders could have been a Dolphin.
Give me some history on that. What did Dan Marino have with Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders was going to get traded to the Dolphins.
Right.
But it came to, Dan Marino selfish. That's why he could never win. You see, it took Emmett so long. They got him a running back. And who's the running back? Again, we all know, Terrell Davis. That's how he won his 2 Super Bowls, because you need a run game. Now, with the Dolphins, they had a chance to get Barry. They were going to get Barry, but Dan Marino said, no, I don't want this guy here, because he basically was selfish. He was like, no, I don't want him here because they're going to take the ball away from me. Dan Marino wants another throwing the ball. So that was his problem. He's like, no, I don't want to hand the ball off. I want to throw it. But, you can't win the Super Bowl without a running game. You look at Joe. He had, I'm slipping on names, Roger Craig. You look at Steve Young. Ricky Waters. You need a run. Even though each quarterback has receivers, you need that run game. You need it.
But go back to Trey.
You can't just rely on one.
Absolutely. But go back to Joe and Roger. Could that be the reason why Roger did not get the nod in the Hall of Fame? Because the committee looked and they said, listen, Joe could have done that with any running back. The reason why Craig did so well is because the emphasis on Joe. I'll bet you those MFs. I bet they don't like that.
I actually don't know what that is. No, I mean Craig deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He does.
Yeah, he does.
He's the first running back that got 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards running. So
and he still can't get
it. I don't know why they keep on the back. He deserves it. They just keep not giving it to him. He deserves it. He's well overdue.
He's not going to get it.
I still think people are still bitter because the 49ers could have been the first team to three-peat if it wasn't for his fumble. So I don't know. Maybe people still here bitter over that because that could be a problem too.
Anyway, one of your favorite guys, Tony, has come in and said, no, Walter P. had 16,726 yards. Tony staying on top of them stats, boy. So Frank is not ahead of Walter P. unless he played another season, and he'd have to have a 1,000-yard season.
So then that means Walter Payne's number 2, because I know isn't Gore number 3 or is he number 4?
I really wish I can't. I don't want to say it right now because I don't want to get corrected.
I'll check it later as soon as we get off.
But anyway, he's
'Cause I
still a
could've
Hall of
sworn-
Famer,
I
Emilio.
just could have
No matter
sworn he
what.
went to number 3.
And he's still a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. Anytime you play 16 years of football at the running back position and you miss 15 games in your total, come on, man. No matter what you do, you got to go to the Hall of Fame.
No, yeah, that too. I'm going to that game. Whenever he retires, he decide whatever game he's retiring from, I'm going to that game.
That's going to be a game. That's going to be a sellout. It's already sold out.
I can't miss that one.
If they announce it, yeah.
So I got to miss it. I got to make that one.
Mm-hmm. Emilio, okay, here we go. Now, Kyle Shanahan says OTAs is very important. That when Trey does come in and he's going to have a few short shots to look at him in the OTAs. And that time, of course, Kyle will determine whether he needs to be worried, concerned, or get down to more business. What is it going to take for Trey to come in and make sure that Kyle is confident in what he's going to do? Uh-oh, we're going to, dang.
Make sure he,
real quick, Emilio, because I didn't know he's out of time.
Oh, I'll make it quick. No, just make sure you hit your receivers, get the right calls in, limit your mistakes, and make sure every time you throw the ball, your receivers catch it. That's all you got to do. Because, I mean, OTAs, best, isn't OTAs like 7-on-7?
Yeah. Those are critical.
Just make sure,
Because those are intense.
Yeah, basically. Make sure you make the right calls, hit your receivers, they catch it, and you're good to go. So, limit your mistakes. If you make some mistakes, then, Shanahan will have something to worry about. But, and that, I believe in Trey. I don't think it's his team. It's his time to shine. It's up to him.
Yeah, he's going
to. You
he's
take the reins, or you.
I think they already told him he's going to start anyway, so no point. Because you cannot have Jimmy and Trey. Because every time Trey goes out and makes any mistake, and I know how we do. Oh God, he's a bust. Put Jimmy in the game so they can't have
like
that.
I said, they did it. They did it to Jimmy. They did it to Jimmy at Super Bowl one. Oh, he threw 5 interceptions. But what does that matter? That means he was playing he was playing against one hell of a defense, because that year defense was what, top 3, top 5?
Yeah.
That Super Bowl run. So.
Yeah. So
Man, I ain't worried about that.
It's fans don't know how to dissect like that. Anyway, fam, I'll be back tomorrow. Looking for you, Emilio. You're off today too, huh? Because it's quiet.
Nah, you have a good night, man.
All right, fam. Night, Emilio. Hey, and the law has just drove in. Hey, Brian.
The law says, know your role and shut your mouth. What's going on, Ronbo?
Ready to go. You know that was for you, right? All right. Fam, I'm sitting back here, and first thing, I was going through the Frank Gore thing. I've been celebrating Frank Gore's career from like, gosh, everybody has for the last 5-6 years, hardcore, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm reading one dude. You know what? Anytime anybody get mad, go to Twitter. Dude says, I don't know what you guys are yelling and screaming about. Frank Gore played a long time, but he never did anything to be a standout against some of the premier running backs in the NFL. Oh, he's got a long thread following, but that boy got booed and booed and booed. Is there any truth, though, Brian, when you think about it? Is there any reason that Frank Gore should not be in the Hall of Fame first ballot?
Ronbo, let me make this simple and stupid. As I'm talking to you right now, Ronbo, can you hear me?
I can. You're getting a little lower in volume, though.
Okay. Hey, as I'm looking at the all-time the leading rusher list right now, and out of the top 10, from Emmitt Smith to Tony Dorsett being 10. Only 2 of them don't have a gold jacket. And then out of that 2, only 1 that's active that hasn't retired, and that's Adrian Peterson. And of course the other person is Frank Gore, but the other 8 got gold jackets. So and then you got to look at Ronbo. They sit there and say, well, he never led the league in rushing. You don't know who he had to go against.
And Frank would have get some of the greatest of all time.
Not that, And Frank Gore played on some, he had some 49er teams that wasn't that
questionable.
Good. But the fact that that's individual achievement. That's individual achievement. And it ain't bad for somebody who blew out both of their knees in college.
And Brian, some of the people are stating that he never carried a team. How about I mean, running backs don't carry teams. They implement.
They don't.
And they facilitate and they do their job. But you get your running back out there running and winning games on his own? What are you talking about? Some people just put anything out there to get started an argument.
Ronbo, he led them to the Super Bowl. They played against Baltimore, didn't he?
Yes.
I think he had something to do. I think he had something to do with that.
He had a lot to do with that. But the thing is, every year your running back is not going to be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. That's not his job. His job is to do what he does and do it well to make it possible. Because without him, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
that's Dan Marino.
Yeah, and then Ronbo, and I'm kind of tired of, people or the powers that be creating scrutiny against our backs. I'm talking about San Francisco. So they want to say, well, Frank Gore, he's not Hall of Fame material. Okay. Well, what about? Okay. Well, what about Roger Craig? What about Roger Craig? He's won what 3-4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He don't even have nearly the run. He don't have near the rushing yards as Frank Gore does. And have no longevity.
And he has a distinction too. And Brian, he has that distinction.
Why doesn't he got it?
That's what I'm saying.
Why don't he have a gold jacket? What's the excuse for that?
Like the case you're making. Lee has something against 49 running backs because Roger Craig has a distinction of being the first guy to ever catch passes out of the backfield for that volume of yards. Are you serious? At that time? Come on. There is no way he doesn't get a Hall of Fame.
If you playing the 49ers back in those days when they had Craig and Montana, you cannot go into a game plan and not account for him. When you cover up Jerry and John Taylor and whoever the tight end is, that Roger Craig is that third. Roger Craig was that third receiver.
Coming down the field with the eyeballs looking like cups and saucers.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And if you ain't careful, you're gonna get a couple of knees. You'll get not one but two knees in your chest.
He'll be high stepping, ain't he? Bam!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. So Ronbo, I don't want to hit. So Ron, I don't want to. So it's is either or. It's either or with guys. Okay, well Frank ain't it was productive.
You're right, though.
Period.
They need to launch.
It's production.
They definitely need
If nothing else, he was productive.
Absolutely. And if both of them don't get in, if we're looking down the road 5 years from now, okay, so Roger Craig is not in the Hall of Fame. Frank Gore is not in the Hall of Fame. Well, as 49er fans, we want to know exactly what is it about the 49er uniform that some of you people on the committee don't appreciate.
I think it's a whole. Matter of fact, I think I can think there's a whole lot of running backs that Roger Craig should have went before he does.
Add me to that list.
I think there's a whole lot of running backs Roger Craig should have went before them.
But,
matter of fact, they owe Roger Craig interest. They owe him 2 jackets. They owe him interest.
I like that, Brian. I like that a lot. The law is spoken.
Give
Craig not only that, he should sue for defamation of character. Yes.
You're right. Yeah. Unsportsmanlike conduct. They owe him interest.
Yeah.
I'm
give him a regular bus and one with a suit on. Exactly.
If God willing, Ronbo, let us be on this earth the next 5 years
and see Frank and
we don't
Roger.
and either Roger Craig or Frank Gore don't get a jacket. It's going to be smoke in the city.
Yeah, it'll be time, and I want to see those people that make those decisions. I want those people. I want them exposed. I want to ask them. Everybody should be able to ask them questions. Justify why you believe that your choice in this matter or your decision is worth a damn. That's all I want to ask him, What are you? Please give me something substantial to make me believe that you're absolutely right about Roger Craig no longer not being possible to get in the Hall of Fame and also Frank Gore.
And then on top of and then while we're on that Ronbo, and then you look at it, Barry Sanders only played 10 years. He left. He quit. Which means he had more in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
He left 10 years. He left 10 years.
So you know.
So if he would have stayed, I don't think Emmitt Smith wouldn't be the all-time leading rusher.
See, don't get me started on Emmitt Smith.
On a suspect offensive line. On
Yes.
suspect offensive line.
Emmitt, you know too. If anything, Emmitt would probably tell you, I'd vote for Frank Gore, and I'd have Roger Craig in there. Emmitt's not like that though. He knows. I've heard him say some good things about 49ers before.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's call it what it is. Now, like I say, looking at that top 10, Barry Sanders left. He quit. Now Adrian Peterson, like I say, he's the only one he's the only running back in the top 10 all-time list that's still active.
And I look for Barry. I look for him to play this year too. The dude is crazy.
Yeah, somebody pick him up. Yeah.
All right, fam. Long we got to go, fam. I'm going to tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow. Monday Night Raw. Let's talk some more football.
All right, Ronbo. Don't let them see you sweat. And in the meantime, between times, shout out to you, shout out to the faithful, and shout out to your production. And
Thanks,
guess what, Ronbo?
What?
I'm out.
That's a different exit than usual. I like it. All right. The law is on his horse. He's riding away from the saloon and into the dusty prairie that he calls the Night Empire. Hey, man, have a great night.
All right, Ronbo. Love, peace, hair grease.
You just loaded tonight. All right, fam. Let's go now to the great state of Tennessee and say, Papa Dragon in the house. Bam. Boom.
What? What's up, Ronbo?
Bob, man, we're sitting here as Niner fans doing our due diligence. You know damn well we're not supposed to sit around and entertain no arguments about, well, Frank Gore never did anything special. He just sort of kept care of his body, and he stayed on the field for 16 years. That does not make an extraordinary football player. That just makes one with the ability to stay on the field. I'm going to go back and get that dude when we get through. I haven't said enough to him. I saw him on Twitch. He's already got a lot of people working him. But, I mean, Twitter, should I say?
First and foremost, Ronbo, I come on here and I speak, and I don't try to create no kind of craziness, and I don't speak no crazy conspiracies. How many times? I'm serious. How many times have I been wrong? How many times have I been
Pop,
serious?
as far as I'm concerned, you're never wrong.
I'm not saying I'm not. Sometimes I am. But I'm just,
I was gonna let you say it or not. You my dude. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you.
I'm just saying in general. I say some BS. So what I like to do right now is I like to come in as the fact finder of Ronbo Sports.
Uh-oh.
And the first thing I would like to go ahead and say is I want to talk about Barry Sanders for a brief moment, and that is Barry Sanders. The year he retired would not return Coach Ross's phone calls in the offseason. When your players don't return your phone calls, that's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with Dan Marino. Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember that story either. Okay, you cleared that up. You didn't come back and yeah. Go ahead.
Nothing. Now, furthermore, he retired. Now, about 5 or 6 years it took for him to actually come back to the city of Detroit because he lived in Houston. It just so happens I was at one of the opening games of the new Ford Field, and Barry was finally coming back into the fold. Okay, and my luxury suite was right next to his luxury suite, so I got in real good with his wife. And when you get in good with a dude's wife, you get in good with the dude. And I got a chance to hang out and talk with Barry Sanders, mano y mano. Okay, right. And when I met him, he was 175 pounds.
Damn.
He was not playing football no more. He probably wasn't even eating bacon. He took very.
What's that's serious?
He looked at me and said. He goes, oh, I'm doing real good, man. I'm doing real good. I say you good financially, you good health wise. He goes, oh man. He goes, I'm living in the same $100,000 house I bought as a rookie. That's what he told me.
Well,
okay. So I asked him, I said, man, it must feel weird coming back. He goes, yeah, it does feel weird. He goes, may I ask? I say, why did you walk away? He goes, I couldn't take losing no more.
Bless
Couldn't
his
take it.
poor guy. My God.
If you are a competitor, you're not gonna sit there and lose all those years. I don't care.
Year.
Real football, basketball, hockey, I don't care if you're playing Madden. You're not going to sit there and play all that time. And that's what happened to him. The very next offseason, Kansas City came and they wanted to trade for Barry Sanders. And at that point, Detroit said, no, he's ours. They refused to trade him. So the trade was never even discussed or talked, although Barry Sanders said he would have left, especially for the Dallas Cowboys. But that they never gave him the opportunity. And one of the reasons why Megatron has such a big problem with Detroit is the same deal.
Mm-hmm.
They have very, very poor upper management, very poor communication with their players. They don't take care of their players. Again, he goes down the list. Donkey Kong Sue had issues, whatever. Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer.
I forgot he played in Detroit.
Frank Gore is a Hall of Okay, he is a Hall of Famer. Here's the sad thing about the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is just about as fair as the medical attention that Ken Law got on his knees compared to Nick Bosa. It ain't fair.
Ooh.
Life ain't fair. It's the way that it is.
Wow. Yeah.
If they would have given the ball to Gore on the goal line in the Super Bowl against the Ravens 3 times in a row, he would be a Hall of Famer first ballot.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't have any of those accolades, no MVPs, I mean, the closest comparison of a running back that I can see would be probably Walter Payton. But Walter Payton, he had led the league in rushing. He had MVPs. He has a Super Bowl ring. Unfortunately, the writers that do the Hall of Fame, they take all that crap into consideration. In my opinion, I believe Roger Craig should get in before Gore. And if that's
that just goes without saying, because he should have been put in a long time ago. Exactly.
Yeah, but he goes in my estimation, because at the time no one else did. He was the first guy to do 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. Right. So, in my opinion, he should be in there before Marshall Faulk should have He should have been in before Marshall Faulk. He should have been in. He should go in before Gore.
Don't say that in Rams. Rams go after that hard. Eric Dickerson. Is Eric Dickerson in the top 10?
Yes. I believe he is. I think he's like number 9.
Yeah.
I can't recall, but again, there's a couple of things that get you in that Hall of Fame consideration. One is a 2,000-yard season, and Barry Sanders actually took himself out of a game that they were by 17 points or something.
Yeah.
And he only needed like something yards to reach 2,000 yards or to break the record. No, he had 2,000 yards. He only needed 61 yards to break Dickerson's record. And Barry said, just let the backup get some playing time.
See,
Barry,
that's the kind of guy he was. He was about winning. And for if you're too young to have known about that, go to YouTube and witness that. That was incredible. Barry Sanders is not a selfish ball player. He just wanted to win. He put his heart and soul in those games every week. And nobody deserves to go to Detroit of his caliber. Actually, nobody of any caliber needs to go to Detroit.
Also, if you get a chance, go check out some of Barry Sanders' runs where he injured top defensive players who could not cut as fast as he could. Rod Woodson blew his knee out trying to catch him. And he got John Lynch in the hole twice when John Lynch was safety for Tampa Bay. He got John Lynch twice for 2-yard runs in the same game.
You've never seen hips and legs and body move in different directions like Barry.
He was strong, compact. He had like a 25 bench press reps of 225.
And Pop, do you remember those times when you seen Barry actually look like he was sliding? Looked like Barry was going down, but he would slide sideways through a hole that an ant couldn't get through, bust out into daylight, and then after he got in open space, it was just, don't embarrass yourself by trying to stop him. God, that was.
Absolutely. And the other thing I hate where I hear people talk about Emmitt Smith. Okay, I get it. You don't like Dallas, but Emmitt was
He was good. I agree.
backs of all time. He was durable. He had great vision. He always put himself in a position to get downfield without getting touched, and that takes vision and timing, and that's very difficult to do as a running back for as long as he did. And then to put that little dot on the end of the sentence, when he went to Arizona for 2 seasons, he put up 1,000 yards in Arizona. Offensive line, and in his 30s, and he did it 2 years in a row. So Emmitt Smith was the real deal by far. But I tell people this all the time: if Barry Sanders had Dallas's offensive line at that time, he would have ran for 3,000 yards.
Whoa.
All day.
Yeah. Because he didn't
3,000 yards. Watch.
Yeah. Because he didn't have fantastic offensive lines. That's when you know a running back is really a badass.
Exactly. So we'll see. Hopefully, Gore comes back to the front office. But yeah, I just think that Gore's waiting.
I'd love to see him go down and talk to the running backs. Any of our running backs right now, even, I'd love to hear I'd like to see the impact he'd have, because I know they got to respect him. They got to respect Frank.
Jet York wants to hire him, and Jet York also used Gore to scout Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
No.
So there's a story about that where Jet York actually said, "Hey, I need you to take a look at these quarterbacks, tell me who you like." And Frank Gore came back and said, "I like Trey Lance."
Yeah, Frank, if anybody knows what a quarterback should look like after 16 years of football, it's got to be Frank Gore. My God.
I think it's a scouting. I think if you know how to scout, if you know to look at film, if you looked at the film with an unbiased eye, you're gonna probably say either Trevor Lawrence or you're gonna say Trey Lance. That's what my conclusion was. Although I like
no Zach in the mix.
No, because there's this. What wasn't realistic about Zach Wilson's film was that he literally had 5, 6, 7 seconds in the pocket to throw the ball.
Justin Fields. I think you were a Justin Fields guy before the draft, though, weren't you? Or were you always Trey?
I was a Justin Fields guy. Right. At the beginning of the draft, I was there because I felt that he played in big enough games, and I thought that because at the time, I'm looking at the 49ers offense, and we were running a lot of shotgun, and I felt that Fields would transition to that, very well. And he played in big games. So I was looking at the experience. I was looking at the talent. But I was also looking at the fact that he was a real hard worker behind the scenes and things like that. A lot of good leadership skills. I felt he was really tough. So there's a lot of things I liked about Fields, but I just knew that he, the whole footwork thing was going to take some time underneath the center. But like I said, that's the team. That's the players that are on the top with the big schools. But as you start going through the small schools, it's kind of how Bill Walsh, when he found Jerry Rice, he's like literally looking at him, and he says they're looking at the 40 time, which was like a 4.6, 4.65, and then he's looking at the game film, and Jerry's just running away from everybody. And those are different things: track speed and game speed, and it's like Jerry kept accelerating. So you have to really look at the tape that the player puts down. And then if you can do that with an unbiased eye, look at all the nuances of the position, and then look at what their life is like outside of football, and kind of see.
And alluding to it and added to, because Ready to Go says Rice played in a cupcake here. Here's the funny thing about that, which is so absurd. The thing is, Rice played when bump and run was very much in fashion, that you could headhunt and take a man's life on a midfield play. I mean, and Rice still did what he did. And Jerry even says, to this day, I wish I could play during this period. Oh, I never would get caught.
147.
You expose yourself. Oh, you expose yourself with that comment. That was ignorant. Ooh, that was ignorant. Ready to Go. He says, yeah, Jerry Rice played during a cupcake period. Cupcake era, huh? Oh, my God. Rice is alive, lucky to be able to walk on 2 legs right now.
Who, if Steve Young played in today's era, Steve would have played. He'd been like Tom Brady. He would have played until he's like 45, 50. Easy.
There's a number of guys like that. Quarterbacks are protected in such a way now. Kids don't want to hear it. They keep Tom Brady's the best of all time. You 49er fans, you got this fixation on a bunch of BS that Joe Montana was the greatest quarterback of all time. Let's just look at the record. Let's look at the stats. From that point on, I want to invent some software where I can punch a man in the face through my computer. It's about character and stamina and overall macho toughness out there. You don't know what you're talking about. Brady gets. I go. I'm in my mind. I'm going nuts. But you got to try to wage.
That's why I always tell people that Joe is better than Tom, and they say I'm crazy. And the reason why I say that, Joe played in a very tough era. He played in a very, very tough era. And if he played today, he would be even better. You see what I'm saying? If Tom Brady played in the era that Joe played in, Tom wouldn't be playing at 45.
No.
Am I lying?
Joe went off and he's on a walking stick now, from what I understand, on occasion.
Reggie, you know what I'm saying? Like all these guys could tear you up. And if you don't believe me, folks, go check out this cornerback. Night Train Lane. Check Night Train Lane. Night Train Lane was one of the most vicious hitters, and he was a cornerback. throwing his forearm in your throat, and it was legal. It used to be legal to throw a forearm in the throat.
I know, and you'd see it too. And you'd sit there, damn.
It used to be legal to smack somebody and
what are you doing? What is that?
It used to be legal to lose your head.
Yeah. You do a headshot now. I mean, look at just the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, the Raiders defense, the Dolphins secondary. These guys, I mean, what was that? Jack Tatum. Then you got Miami Dolphins. What was that dude? Jake Scott. Those guys, that's what they did.
That's why people don't play the 49ers late in the season and in the playoffs, because the 49ers run. And not only they run, but you see, Juice getting another bump. You see Kittle. What makes these guys dangerous is that they are hunting these blocks on the run. So you're looking at motion coming one way, and someone's coming the opposite way where you're not even looking, and they're taking your head off.
See, that's why they made legislation, and I agree. That was dangerous. You could have killed a man doing that. Daryl Stingley got killed like that. I mean, anyway, we could go on and on at great football nostalgia. We got to go, though, fam. I'll be back tomorrow.
All right, Ronbo. Shout out to production. Please like and subscribe, Ronbo Sports.
Thanks, fam. Have a good night, Pop.
Good night, brother.
And Theodis Barber, we're just lucky we had Ronnie Lott on our team.
Ooh, Lord, Ronnie.
Man. Lott went out to kill a man, too. So those guys they took football personally. It wasn't a business to these guys. They came out to maim and cripple. They took pride in the full definition of playing football.
It's nasty.
Hey, talk to you later, fam. Hey, let me go to David.
Ronbo, what are you doing?
David, we're going to sit back here.
How are you doing, Ronbo?
I'm doing great. How you doing? Thanks.
Good. It's been a long time.
Yeah, David. I'm trying to remember this voice. Has been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hollister, the guy that knows that Patrick Willis was in Hollister, that guy.
Wait. In Hollister, that knows who? Who do you? Give me that name again.
Patrick Willis.
Willis. Yeah, I remember you talking about you'd run into Willis on occasion.
Yep.
Damn it, it's been a long time.
I know. I've been working and trying to get these kids straight and have them finish up school if they have trouble,
Yeah.
Life.
Well, you're doing something that needs to be done, and that's to be appreciated. So,
Yeah, well, you got to make sure these kids, they have trouble and they kind of keep their heads in the book. So.
It's a full-time job. You go to bed with that thought. You're doing a whole generation that's just been wow, they got it tough. And social media and things like that, it's now really more difficult than ever to keep a child on the right path, period,
Yes, exactly. You gotta kind of reverse engineer things because sometimes they kind of they think they know what they don't know. When I'm 43, so I grew up in a different time when I was a teenager and stuff. So, but
Oh, yeah. I mean, can you imagine a kid saying he wants to go join ISIS? What kind of dogma are they putting out that you would have appreciated at 16, 17, 18? I'm gonna go fly. I'm gonna join ISIS. What is wrong with you? So yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It is. So Frank Gore, Hall of Fame. Frank Gore, absolutely. There's no question about it. He's a Hall of Famer. He got the numbers. He was durable. He was on some great Niner teams during that time frame. And then even after he left, he still was putting up some numbers. So, I mean, and then two correct me if I'm wrong, and I know the law who just left, he probably knows better than I do. Frank Gore had 2 knee surgeries before he came out of college, right?
Right.
I think he had 2 knee surgeries.
Yeah, you're right. That's why he got drafted.
We got him.
Yeah.
That's when we got him, though, because we got him in the later rounds because nobody his knees might give out. Nobody, says, we're taking a risk. But he blessed us by coming over to us. If he didn't have those 2 knee surgeries, he would have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And who knows who would have been playing with him at the time.
Yeah. You lose a film of him in Florida before he got drafted. Frank runs some football.
Yeah.
He's always a tough guy. So.
Yeah. Well, what they wanted to come on and say is, Rudy, you are a very cocky individual now that your Rams have won the Super Bowl. It's okay. You're proud. You're a proud man. I get it. But, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you guys still need 3 more to catch up to. So just pump the brakes a little bit.
No, 4.
Brakes.
Dave, it's 4. That one in St. Louis. That wasn't a Los Angeles trophy.
Okay, so are we just counting that? Okay, that said, then I talked to a Rams fan. That's from Los Angeles, okay? I actually helped him buy a house over here in Hollister. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Rams fan.
All right.
And I said, who's your football team? Oh, the Rams. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're a Super Bowl champion. I'm like, let me ask you something real quick. When they lost against Tom Brady and only scored 3 points, were you a Rams fan then too? And he goes, yeah, I was. Okay, cool. When they won back right there in St. Louis and they beat the Titans, were you a Rams fan? No, I wasn't.
No.
Well, why not? You're a Rams fan. You got to be a Rams fan no matter what.
He's an
well,
LA
they weren't in L.A.
Right? Yeah.
So then you're a Chargers fan too, right? No, I'm not a Chargers fan. Well, why not? They're in L.A. too. So, I mean,
yeah, those are good
questions. They're only fans when it's convenient and it's when it becomes popular. You know what I mean? That's how much of a joke LA is.
Absolutely.
Exactly like that.
They call it Holly Weird for a reason. You feel me?
There you go.
David,
highly weird.
I've had that conversation with so many Rams fans. Because I ask them, how long you been a Ram fan? When they got back in, they got back. Whoa, let me stop you right there. They got back. Yeah, I was a Rams fan before they went to St. Louis. I'm from L.A. Okay.
Come on. Look, the Niners are in Santa Clara. They're in Santa Clara and they're in San Francisco. They're still the Niners. I'm a Niner fan.
They haven't changed the uniform name.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, they're the Niners.
Yeah.
So, Rudy, please stay in the basement, in your parents' basement. I think it's your parents' basement, that studio that you have over there.
Starting to get dementia. You know that oxygen is real thin. He's about 200 miles underground. So when you lose brain cells and you're losing oxygen, you start to go through all kinds of different changes. So
that's right. Who's this wonderful gentleman that's talking on the phone now? He makes a lot of sense. Who is that?
That's Ellis.
Oh, Ellis.
Yeah.
You're
yeah, man. Niners for life, man. I we got to get on Rudy every once in a while because he comes in here, like you said, he's getting real cocky and overzealous. So, we got to make sure.
Yeah, he's a little pep in his step. He's happy that his team was given a Super Bowl. Listen, they have to make money to pay that stadium off, so they got to give them the Super Bowl.
And
they got to gift wrap it to them. Hollywood ending. Right?
And I've never
Hollywood
seen
ending.
Rudy. Rudy's never smoked a cigar. And Rudy, and I want you to light that cigar up while you're in that room, and just to prove to us that you're not underground.
Oh my God, Rudy, please.
He's over packed with ding dongs and Pepsis and his diet's off kilter and everything.
Cigar.
So there's an explanation. It's justified.
Yes, it is.
All right, Tom, my bad. I'm out.
No, LS, please, whenever you want. Come on in. This is awesome. I love it, man. This is phenomenal.
Peace and love,
Ronbo,
Enjoy.
I know we're short on time, but a couple things though. So when Joe was playing in his time, they were headhunters out there. We were going after quarterbacks. They were destroying quarterbacks, and Joe took a beating, and he still was able to pump out 4 rings. And and I guarantee you to say, hey, who's better, Joe or Brady? Oh, well, Brady. No, he has 7 rings. Okay, that's great. How many rings did Joe lose? 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. How many interceptions did Joe throw in the Super Bowl? 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they go, well, he had Rice. Well, for the first 2, he didn't have Rice.
No.
He didn't have Rice.
Huh?
He didn't. No.
I mean, he had Clark and
Bill Ring. I think Bill Ring may have been part of that. Bill Ring.
Yeah.
Bun. There was a bunch of guys that were there, but I mean, it's different. But I mean, it's just a whole different thing, and people don't really understand. And if they would have laid into Brady the way they did to Joe, oh my God, no. Yeah, maybe he would have had 2 rings, maybe 3, but no, he wouldn't have made a pass past that 3 rings.
But see, you
anyway.
You'll never win that argument unless the guy's at least 40. Kids nowadays, they'll argue it into the dirt. Man, come on, guys. You 49 fans, man. You need to get over it, man. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. He is the GOAT, Ronbo. Don't come and walk away from this conversation before you get cussed out. How about that?
No,
you win.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not. He's the greatest. He's the greatest of his time, but not of all time.
I accept that. Even Joe said Sammy Ball was better in his generation. And Joe, you need to acknowledge and respect periods. You don't need to say that this guy's the greatest of all time. And even if you don't want to say about Joe, I'll accept that. But don't tell me Tom Brady's the greatest of all time.
Exactly. So, anyways, but again, back to my point. Frank Gore, Hall of Famer, 100%. And one thing that we have to say, and I'm not a Raiders fan. I don't like the Raiders. Can't stand the Raiders.
Yeah.
But I personally think, in my own opinion, if he wouldn't have got hurt, I think who would have been the greatest running back of all time. I think so. This is my opinion. I'm a Niners fan, right? Bo Jackson.
All right. Well, who's that? Because we're running out of time.
Bo Jackson.
Don't get. All right, hey, come back tomorrow. Let's go. Let's talk some more about the running backs. Bo Jackson, the man that made the Seattle Seahawks Hollywood star famous. Bo ran into him.
That's right.
And the first guy that Bo ever got knocked back to the dirt on. Oh, what was that guy's name? Nostalgia.
Right.
What was that guy's name?
Brian Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth. Everybody was wearing Bosworth's shirt after that. Wow!
But anyway, so there he goes. Ronbo, thank you. God bless you. Rudy, stay in your parents' basement. And the Rams are gone. That's it.
I agree. Well, I can't wait till next season. Season's already here. Dave, don't be making me wait for 2-3 years, man. Let me come on back tomorrow if you got a chance, or as soon as you can, all right? Talk to you later.
I will.
Right,
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later.
Man. Night. Football, man. Football. That's the beautiful thing about football, especially if you've been on the planet long enough to see some of the greatest football that's ever been played, and then you compare it to, Hey, Jay. Yo, Jay. Jay's trying to see if he can get the switch to work. Jay goes through this all the time.
Ronbo.
There he is.
Hello.
Jay. So we had more subject matter to talk about, but it's gotten stuck on Frank Gore. And if you got something, and also Kyle's got Trey coming into camp in a few weeks. Everyone's going to come in condition on April 19th, and then in May, Trey's going to have to come out and demonstrate the fact that he's got this. But Frank Gore, there is some argument, there's some pushback on whether or not Frank Gore should be first ballot Hall of Famer. Jay, do you think that there should be any hesitation to go ahead and put Frank in. And he's coming back in to retire as a 49er, by the way. But, what are you thinking?
Ronbo, what's it called? I'm going to be honest, Ronbo.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, be honest then.
What?
You said you're going to be honest. Go ahead. You're always honest.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jay.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't watch football during those times, to be honest with you.
Frank Gore? How long have you been watching football?
About like 5 years, Ronbo. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, so you miss Harbaugh? So
Yes,
okay.
Ronbo, I missed everything, Ronbo. Literally, like, I don't know, man. Look, I was always a Niners fan because of my uncle. That's why, And
What
I
year
didn't
was
really
that?
start watching. I don't know when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, but
Because your uncle was watching. Well, he liked the 49ers.
I must have been like 12 or something. I don't know, like 11. But I never used to watch football. To be honest with you, I just started watching it like 5 years ago.
What were you watching? Were you watching any sport?
I don't know, but no, I wasn't. I was like, I don't know.
It's okay.
I regret it, but
Okay, well, tell you what. Let's let you touch upon something you know a lot about. Now, Frank. I mean, not Frank, but you've got a few practices. Trey's down busted butt down in SoCal, polishing and priming up his game. So Kyle Shanahan will believe in him. And he'll be back in April 19th. They'll come in and do some conditioning. Then on May 23rd, Trey will step on the field with his teammates, and they will demonstrate, Kyle, we are ready to go. Tell Jimmy good night and thank you very much. But this is my team now. What's going to make Kyle believe that?
I don't know if Trey looks sharp and his accuracy and his mechanics look good. And,
that's what I was going to ask you next. What are some of the things you think that he needs to polish up on to impress?
He has like a wobbly ball, to be honest with you, and he in some of the shorter throws, he could like, I think he throws it too hard, I'm not gonna lie. He does like he throws it like he throws the ball hard, in shorter passes, and hopefully he did work on on that in the off season. And that's it. I'm pretty sure, Ronbo.
I really think some of that you're talking about, I think that was nerves. Like you said, you're talking about a kid that just came out of school, played 1 year in college ball, so I'm sitting on an NFL field. Yeah. Some of those throws might have been based on nerves. You know why I say that? Because when he played against the Texans, he looked a lot more relaxed, a lot more in control. And now, I'm looking forward to. Actually, I can't wait till May 23rd to see what he looks like because I just want to win. And if he's ready to go, then yes, let's please do this. So and save some money. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the coaches are good enough to get him to settle down and just stay within yourself and do the things you know how to do. So that's one of them. And slide.
Hopefully, yeah, Ronbo. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I have never seen Trey slide, to be honest with you.
Nobody has.
He's gonna slide in college.
Rudy lives in the basement.
Who?
Yes, he does. Rudy lives in the basement. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ronbo, look. Okay. In Trey's college tape, he never like slided, right? Like he was always like trying to break tackles and all that stuff, and that does scare me. Hopefully he learns from that. Hopefully he learns how to slide.
Jay, I just realized something. College quarterbacks. You watch college football?
No. I did watch Trey's tape though.
I'm just wondering. I've never seen a college quarterback slide of the few times I've seen. And also, Justin Fields could have did some sliding last year. He doesn't slide. Trevor Lawrence.
I think he's sliding. I don't know.
I saw him run in to take on some tacklers more than once. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, I can't remember if I saw him slide. Zach Wilson didn't have time to slide. They hit him so hard and fast.
Yes, Ronbo.
Bam! No.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I never wanted to draft Zach Wilson because he looks small, Ronbo. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's supposedly 6'2",
Rudy
but
and
the man
Marketing
looks
Pro
small.
live in the same house.
Okay. Look,
I'm sorry, Jay. Go
Ronbo,
ahead, man.
look.
We gotta have comedy.
Yeah, I'm about to talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Like, wait, what's the topic gonna be tomorrow? Do you know already?
I'm gonna wait until see what develops.
Okay.
And we'll get on to that.
I'm about to talk about Trey and say a lot of stuff. I'm out of time probably, but you have a good day, Ronbo.
Rudy, Marketing Pro, and Don Burr all share a room.
Okay. At the same time, naked. Oh, that was a call for guys. I'm kidding. Who's next? Oiled down. Oh God, that's room service. Hey, Tony, come on in, Tony.
Boy, it's Comedy Central tonight. You hear that? Ready to go? And exposed. You Marketing Pro and Rudy, and throw Don Burr in there too. Y'all live in that shed.
I wonder who cooks. Okay. See now, see this is how we antagonize them. Now they're gonna go buck wild in the chat, so we asked for it. So yeah. Hey, but Tony, let's talk about football and also ready to go. Well, I want to, Tony. Here's what we should mention to those who know nothing about football past the year 2010. There was football before 2010, and that. Somebody would say that Jerry Rice played during a cupcake era is embarrassing.
Are you kidding me? Jerry Rice played when the corners can hit receivers.
And ride them?
These kids nowadays don't know, Ronbo.
And 5 yards? Guys, ride that corner could get, he'd have that cornerback in his pocket all the way down the field. The refs didn't care.
Yes, sir.
You gotta have the talent to get away from that dude. Otherwise, that's your problem.
Yes, sir.
They have no idea.
I've been typing knowledge all in the chat up to before you called me about. I said that Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady combined couldn't carry Joe Montana's jockstrap, and I will stick to that. Joe Montana was 4-0 in Super Bowl competition, and Joe Montana had 11 touchdown passes in Super Bowl competition, 0. I say it again, 0 interceptions. He never threw an interception in the Super Bowl. Never.
And he had a decent offensive line, but it wasn't world class. So people don't understand. The game has evolved in such a way that we're now watching Ready to Go, the cupcake era. Now, for the purist that really understood what it meant to get out and play football. And Tony, even as a kid, oh man, I got my bell rang so many times. I got to tell you, Tony, it would be fun. You look at Steve Young and that type of quarterback. Steve Young, how many concussions? Does anybody know how many concussions did Steve Young finally sustain? I'm surprised he could even talk.
Yeah, like him and Roger Staubach remind me of each other's last concussions because they both retired in their primes. I don't know how many he had.
He was in
I know he had a couple in Tampa, too, when he was in Tampa before San Francisco traded for him.
So, I tell you, football has become something we can watch. It's not so violent as it once was, because when Joe Theismann got, I'm never going to get that picture out of my mind. His legs and Lawrence Taylor, who made the tackle, he had so much compassion for Joe Theismann. You see how he was, oh my God, get the stretch, get him out here now. I know he was waving at the sidelines. So, damn, Theismann, is that bone? Why the bone?
Lawrence Taylor was the greatest defensive player I ever seen, and he was clean. You never heard of him being a dirty player, never.
Yeah, but LT did enough snow LT was so lit up. LT, I wonder if he could have played if it wasn't for the Blizzo. LT was on fire. But you know what? I tell you what, Tony, when people tell me how Aaron Donald could be the greatest defensive lineman of all time, I say, y'all don't understand, man. Aaron's good. He is damn good.
And remember, Ronbo, 5 years before Aaron Donald, they were saying J.J. Watt the best of all time. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. I'm like, you guys got to do some history and go back and look at Merlin Olsen and Deacon Jones and all those guys, Reggie White. Are you kidding me? They better get out of here with that.
You know, and also the 49ers, our sack man, Fred Dean. Wait, what's
yes, sir. God rest his soul, Fred Dean.
Dean came off that edge. If the quarterback didn't see him and get rid of that ball, he's dead meat. Go ahead.
And I've been spitting game and ready to go, even though you don't want to hear it, about Joe Montana and even the Rams. I said, well, how come the Rams and the Raiders have something in common? They never paid their stadium leases. That's why they had all them homes in San Bernardino and Oakland and St. Louis and Carlsbad. Remember, I said, it's a shame. Eric Dickerson played his whole Rams career on a baseball field in Anaheim because the Rams didn't pay a stadium lease in the Coliseum.
And baseball was going on, right? But it was
in Anaheim.
It was UCLA. Who was playing on that field? What college team was playing?
In Anaheim?
Yeah. Because
no, it's the Angels. That's the Angel Stadium.
That's
still
right,
is today.
Right?
They shared it with the Rams because the Rams had to leave the Coliseum because they refused to pay their rent.
I am so glad that time, that period I'm glad is over. Because, I got tired of seeing the baseball diamond and guys running through that area.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, oh, man, you fall down on that surf.
That dirt coming up in the players' faces and all that.
And taking off, and that red clay taking meat off them dudes as they're going down. Oh!
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But Ronbo, the Rams have some great players. I think I picked ready to go off because I was telling them about how Henry Ellert left because the Rams did him wrong. Eric Dickerson because the Rams did him wrong. Then I talked about Todd Gurley, Jared Goff. I started naming names. He got pissed off. Come on, Peyton back. They all left because the Rams treated them bad.
The truth is the truth.
They're not a first-class organization. He thinks they're first class. I'm like, yeah. That's why a lot of their star players left because they're first class.
Tony, what I'm looking forward to though, and I know it's really nitpicky of me and a lot of others like myself, but I want to see how long this current program that the Rams are running, how long is going to be lucrative. I understand the thought process behind we need to win now. That draft pick we're picking, we have no idea what he's going to be, and we don't have time for him to wait to mature to a level we can get any production out of him worth a damn. I said, what if every team in the league did that? I wonder because the thing is, if you're going to trade all your draft picks, it could be a trend, Tony, that I don't know. Do you think other teams are going to take that over anytime soon?
No. Okay, I'm going to answer that question with this answer. You remember Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown when they was at the Miami Dolphins, the two running backs, the Wildcat?
Yeah.
How long did that last? A year?
Yeah, because Ricky Williams. Did they both stay healthy? Yeah. See, there's only one.
Because everybody got film on the Wildcat, then it didn't work no more. Same thing with the. Watch what I tell you. Then you're gonna be hearing Discord and Ronbo. You're gonna back me up on this one. The media's gonna be that's the second largest media market. They're gonna start bickering, and the first one gonna be bickering is Jalen Ramsey. You know it's not
because he doesn't wait. Jalen's not gonna wait. He's going to say something because we're talking about the guys on the sideline complaining to guys on his team about things that was his fault. I say, oh, look at you, Jalen. My God, leave him alone.
He's going to start whining at his teammates. And Aaron Donald's probably going to quit after this season because he was talking about quitting after the Super Bowl. This is probably his last season. And they're going to break that up, Ronbo, because you and I both know they are way over the salary cap. They ain't going to have the money to pay all these guys.
I tell you what,
I give it 1 year, and then they're going to start losing. They're going to break it all up. Watch what I tell you.
Tony, Ready to Go is waiting on you because we're going to go. He says that was a terrible analogy. You should get in there and let him know exactly how you feel.
Facts, man. Facts, man. Hey, Ronbo, I shot you some information on
Yes,
Twitter.
I responded. I can't wait. All right.
I'm gonna shoot you some more between tonight and tomorrow.
All right.
What you other than corners, you guys are looking for? What else? Defensive linemen, offensive
linemen
pretty
in
much.
particular. Yeah.
Okay, I'll shoot you some more collegiate players that way. But I'm gonna get back in here and mix it up and spit some more facts and ready to go. Even though he don't want to hear it, he's stubborn.
He just doesn't know any better.
I might go get out of the chat because he's embarrassing himself. Ronbo, I will talk to you tomorrow, Ronbo.
Looking forward to it. Have a great night.
All right, you have a good night,
Tony.
sir. All right.
Thanks. Yo, Ellis. Ellis. Oh, Ellis. Ellis may be tied up with the kids. Come back and get him. Hey, yo, AJ. I wonder if our phone's okay. AJ. Oh, AJ. Oh, let me bring him in here. I know Rod's going. All I gotta do is go, Rod.
Finally, the Rod has come back to Ronbo Live.
Come on in, Rod. Man, we're having fun tonight. We're getting into the not the Debo. We're getting into the Frank Gore situation. We're going into nostalgia, football nostalgia. Man, you know. And this is the thing, Rob, when you're sitting up at the pub or whatever the bar, whatever you're sitting at, you start talking football, and you get that call from somebody from your home. You coming home for dinner? What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. You still got food on the table? This is fun. But, Rob,
I like that analysis.
You know, Frank Gore is, I see some argument. I'm sure not everybody's doing it. But Frank Gore going in the Hall of Fame, you got any issue with that? And, I mean, I know it's just a ludicrous question, but still. And also, Trey Lance is coming in on the 23rd to impress Kyle Shanahan. What are you expecting? And anything else you want to add? And if you see ready to go, make a comment, jump right on him, boy, because the boy is confused.
Well, as far as Frank Gore goes, man, you know, I have absolutely no problem with him being mentioned with Hall of Fame. Everybody has their own opinion to what makes a Hall of Fame person. But I think, you know, Frank Gore, when you think about what he overcame as far as injuries in college and the way he played when he got to the NFL, being I think he was just a third-round pick, you know, he achieved, man. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I think, you know, his era is the same era as the Pat Willis era, the beginning of the Alex Smith era, even Vernon Davis. You know, there was the time when we was going around with the carousel of head coaches, what was it, Nolan to Mike Singletary to finally getting it to Jim Harbaugh. So, I mean, I think, though, he was the beginning, like one of the foundational pieces to that organization being able to go back to a winning mode. And, you know, you just think about the talent that he had around him in the beginning of that era. I mean, he's definitely deserving of being considered a Hall of Famer. Then to be third all time with rushing yards, I mean, come on, what more do you want?
I mean, the consistency, fam. You nailed it right from your opening argument. He came in with teams that were suspect, that he pretty much did what he did. And they say Frank Gore never carried a team on his own. What? And just from you just said, Frank came into some teams that weren't all that, and he's still done his job.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and again, you know, just thinking about his background in Miami, he really wasn't that injured in the NFL. So I mean, you have to take your head off to that. You know, it's hard. Running back is probably the most physical position in the game.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous sport.
And you know, and he did it. He did it successfully. He played consistently. He always played full quarters. I mean, what more can you
And
ask
he played the
for?
whole game, fam. Frank would knock a man out trying to
Yeah,
hit his quarterback. Oh, he's a full, complete running back.
yeah, absolutely. But again, hopefully he will be considered a first-time Hall of Fame person. I think that it's everybody doesn't get that nod. I know a lot of us are still upset because Patrick Willis hasn't gotten in yet. I mean, it's to each his own. The NFL has its own crazy way of how they go about voting people to get those type of awards. So, we just have to sit back and see. But
Roger, you
know,
know what
I think Frank Gore.
When it's like it's not unanimous. I just want that writer should leave himself available for questioning as to why he made his decision the way he did. Now, I know they're never going to do that because it's dangerous, but I still want to know. Please help me understand how you came to that wrong decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be those that, probably try to downplay winning the championship. And, I'm one of those that, are big on, I rate players as, like we talk about Jordan and LeBron, the greatest, and we talk about, the fashion Michael Jordan used to win in when he used to win those championships. But, I mean,
but Karl
it still
Malone never
doesn't
did.
exclude. Right. You can't exclude those who still put the effort. What about Jim Kelly and the Bills who went to 4 Super Bowls in a row? I mean, that AFC was no fluke AFC.
Steelers?
And they was going 4 years in a row.
Raiders were good then.
Yeah. And, Patrick Willis was in the same era as Ray Lewis, a guy that he actually faced off in the Super Bowl, even though they didn't go head-to-head. But it was like, they both were the captains of the field. So, I just think that, it's going to probably be the biggest dilemma is between generations of those, the way they appreciate football.
Yeah.
And, you can say the same thing about basketball. Like, basketball used to be about size, and now it's about who can shoot the threes the most consistently and make the most.
It's all highlight
Same thing with football,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a passing league now. And, I mean, you just have to judge everything differently. But as far as the body of work on the field, I think that's where it all should lie.
Well, I tell you what, and he's not going to make the first ballot. I can already see it coming. I've already braced myself for that because this is what they do to the 49ers. If Roger Craig can't get in after all this thing at the time, and people say, you 49ers are always whining and crying. Listen, there's some truth to the fact that certain players that are wearing 49er uniforms are being mistreated. That's all there is to it. And if Frank doesn't make the Hall of Fame, I mean, the only reason why Terrell Owens made it is because he made so much noise. They must have been embarrassed. They acted upon it because they're sick of him crying and making him look bad every year. And Terrell still won't go to the Hall of Fame to visit. Good for you, T.
Can't deny it.
God.
Yeah.
Damn, Rod, see what I'm saying?
Switching topics on you, because you did tell me, you gave me a couple of things when I first came. I say as far as the Trey Lance thing, man, I mean, I'm not gonna do what I've done in the past, and that's put the jinx on a person. But I just think based off of what I know about Trey Lance, I think that he's a quarterback that is a true student of the game, and this is what you want in this era of football, being that the quarterback is really the most important position on the offensive side anyway, or even the whole team. But I think that Trey Lance is a student of the game. He had a season to sit back and watch, possibly a second season. We'll see how that works out. But, I have confidence that, he's going to be everything that we hope that he would be. And I'm not going to say, he's better than Joe or even better than Jimmy as far as record and all that thing. But I just think that, now Kyle finally has a quarterback. He finally has a quarterback that he wants to run his offense outside of Kirk Cousins. So it'll be interesting to see him call plays for this guy. But I got confidence in him. I really do.
There you go. All right. Now, Rod, we ran out of time, but I talked so much I needed to let you get that out. We've got to go, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate your family. You know
Most
this.
definitely, man. I enjoyed it. We'll try to get at you. You say you're going to be back on Tuesday?
Tomorrow. Be back tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Monday night.
Okay, we'll catch you on Raw then, man.
All right. Rod.
All right.
Always great to hear from you, family.
Give me that exit, dog.
Yes, indeed. Niners for the Rod. All right, Rod.
Appreciate you, Ronbo. Shout out to the Empire.
And we go over to, and the Big Show says, ask Rudy Poo if the reason why their GM says F them picks is because they don't know how to draft. Now this is something I've entertained myself. Last I checked, we have a nucleus, and they don't. Big Show, a brilliant observation. If you don't trust the people that you got out there scouting, then what are they out there for, and are they still on your payroll? Tobin Ernst says Rams equals SB. Work for them, period. Got to get ours now. Thanks, Tobin, for that contribution. But yes, my hat's off to the Rams. They did escape the 49ers this year. And I call it escape because they won by 3 points, and that's not enough lead for what was going on with the 49ers. And they were healthy, the Rams were, for the most part. So, that's neither here nor there. Now we'll see next year. All right. Hey, yo, Ellis.
Bizzle.
Ellis, you know the subject matter tonight. Start wherever you want to.
I've been dipping in and out. I know I was on the phone earlier clowning, but I didn't get to. I don't know exactly what we're talking about. First, I want to do a welfare check. If anybody's got any access to the underground, I want somebody to go do a welfare check on Rudy's stat. He's got some things going on over there, and I know he said that there was a window right in front of him last night, but that was just the outline of a window that he drew, in that cement bunker. He's hijacking old military underground, bases and shit, you know what I mean? So shout out to Rudy with the access, you know what I mean? He's probably a handy guy and what have you. That's why he was able to deck out a whole entire, what is that, like a studio room?
It's elaborate.
With Rams gear.
I mean, he's got it. It's all
he's got some pull, man. You got to watch out for that guy, Rudy, man. Anyway. Anyway.
But we're talking about Frank Gore, and there's
Frankie.
You look around on social media. Frank is coming back to retire in San Francisco. It's already been planned now, and all they got to do is pick out which game they're going to do it, and the ceremony will take place. And Frank Gore, he will retire as a 49er. Now, first of all, since he's now retired, now we're going to talk about how long it's going to take Frank to get into the Hall of Fame. And are they going to jive around and clown around and come up with some of the excuses we're already seeing? Well, Frank Gore never really did anything really 4 and 5 yard chunks and things like that. That does not constitute a Hall of Fame player. 15 times out of 16 years was all that Frank missed. That's got to be a new record for any football player, no matter what position he's playing at. And that alone, with having put up 1,000 yards a year, is in itself Hall of Fame. I don't care what else. So, when those guys start up with the stuff, well, I mean, you look at this guy played half the time, Frank did, but he's way better running back. That argument's coming. You know that, don't you? So,
Well, are the other two leading rushers, the first and the second, before Frank? Are they in the Hall of Fame?
The other two, yeah. Well, you talk about.
He's ranked third. The other two in front of him, I don't know.
Who's number one? Is that Emmett? No, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
Emmett.
good.
Anyway, go ahead and make your point, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the first ballot, regardless. To be the third, number 3 rusher of all time. I just, he's a pillar. He's respected by probably any and everybody who's put on an NFL uniform. He's a class act. he's more than worthy to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's number 3rd overall, of all time. And I don't see anybody passing him anytime soon. You got to play probably 15 years before you even get close to him.
Yeah,
and how many running backs are gonna do that? This ain't gonna be no cakewalk. So yeah, I'm all for Frank getting his accolade, getting his respect, in a lot, because he's deserved of it. So shout out to Frank Gore. I'm glad he's gonna come back and retire with us. It would have been nice if we could have got him for a season, on a vet minimum, something like that, and Kyle could have, just made some room for him or something like that. It would have been, nice just to see one more time. It would have been good. Even if it was just for certain plays and stuff like that, just to let him put on the uniform. But, I know the roster spot stuff and, politics and Kyle's ego, I don't think would allow that.
Yeah, because Kyle, you have to be able to fit his program. And, yeah, you're right. Frank was not what Kyle called his kind of running back. But Tom Sula and Trent Baalke, that should have been something that, I understand that Carlos Hyde was up and coming, but I don't know. Carlos Hyde, and there was room in the backfield for both of them. I understand the way we used to run back then, though. We were like smash mouth football right up the middle, and you needed a north-south runner that needed some reps in order to get a rhythm. But, how you guys going to get rid of Frank? Carlos got hurt. All right, now what? Frank would have been here. We could have picked up right where he left off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm glad though. Shout out to Frankie coming back. It would have been nice to.
I'll give Dylan a good time.
But that's good. He deserves that. I would be a little sad if he, had to just retire, and not be able to retire with any, team. I don't know how that usually works, but shit, he didn't need to retire with anybody else.
Was he with the Jets? His Jets.
Yeah,
Jets
that would have been his last team.
No, he can't retire with the Jets.
No. Right.
So Gallus,
I'm glad.
Real quick, can you, in a minute, can you sum up your what Kyle Shanahan is expecting of Trey Lance on May 23rd? Because he's got to impress him with he's got 9 practices to go out there and demonstrate the fact that he is the child of great expectation, and now is the time.
Well, I think Trey's going to have to, obviously the minor things that he did need to adjust, maybe the releases. I don't think the offense was really a problem for him, but it's, the mechanical things and, that release thing and, decision making. If Trey can, it's hard because he didn't have enough time to really see. I think that this wouldn't be a conversation if Trey would have got a chance to play more last year. Probably. So now that he only got to play those, 2 games, it's going to be a lot more pressure for him. And I think that Trey's doing it. He looked really good in those videos. His feet, he's going to be flashing out of that pocket. He's not going to be sitting there stagnant and moving around. He was already breaking tackles and moving, very, very fast, and he was agile and, quick, with his feet. It's just the decision making and being precise and accurate with his decision making. And and also a little bit of that, when he gets the ball out of his hands, you know what I mean? You gotta, he's gotta work on a couple of things, but I don't think that it's,
and that's what he's doing right now. That's what he's doing right now.
I think he's going to do good.
All right.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm not, concerned or anything like that. What I'd be more concerned with is, what's the plan with, when we keep Jimmy, because I think just politically, it's going to be a big fuss if Jimmy's on the bench getting paid all that money and Trey started. So we got to figure out what the hell's going on with that.
It would cause so much chaos. You can't have, because the minute Trey makes a mistake, there's going to be screams for Jimmy to come out, just like when every time Jimmy made a mistake, there was going to be screams. But this time it might be even more overwhelming because the fact that if Trey's out there, people are going to use also, he's not ready, put Garoppolo in their game. And then you can have, that's going to cause Trey mental, that's going to be traumatic for him, because he's going to be out there trying as hard as he can. So you got to get Jimmy out of the way, and you got to focus right now because you're going to use Trey, then use him. So don't clown. So, all right, man.
Yeah, facts.
All right, let's see tomorrow. All right. Lad Ellis.
That's a bet. Peace and love, family. Thank you for the platform. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. And, shout out to the Not Faithful, man. Love y'all, man. Always. Let's keep it unified, man. And on to the next episode.
So we do, Ellis. Shout out to the squad, too.
All right.
All right, fam.
Thank you, fam. Peace.
Hey, let's go check on an AJ. Remember those days that AJ used to be like, be on the cam, and he'd be going about, it was like a virtual thing with AJ. He'd be going about his business, and then all of a sudden, we'd get his attention. AJ might be. I mean, I'll never forget the time he took us to the movie, had a phone in his back pocket. We were listening to the movie the entire time. AJ! Okay. Let's say, hey, Eric. Okay, I'm not sure we got it. Bill!
Hey, what's up?
Bill, man, we're just man, this conversation tonight, man, we went all over. We went through a couple of periods of football. We're already mad before they even tell Frank Gore's not coming to the Hall of Fame. We're already pissed off. And they haven't even talked about it yet. And so, but anyway, we know Frank's coming back to retire.
With the 49ers?
Yeah,
Did he sign with the 49ers? Okay. Well, he talked about retirement, but who knows? He might just come out. If he still got it in him, Shanahan might keep him, or he might let him retire. I don't know. It's all crazy stuff going on, including George Kittle attending WrestleMania.
I love George, man. George is hilarious. and one of the wrestlers gave a shout out, and he went nuts.
Yeah, he mocked the Cowboy fans, and he wanted to show up one last hurrah, y'all caught an L against us in the playoffs, and, Kittle, give him you can't boo till next year. Just own that L. Pretty much. That was entertaining. That's what I've been watching WrestleMania, following what's going on. I know everything, everybody think it's going to be all done by April. Nah. We still got to August, so anything can happen between now and August. So, who knows?
And usually does.
We got to roll with who we have now. I know a lot of people ain't happy, but Trey has a chance to beat Jimmy G out, but looking like Jimmy's here to stay.
I think Jimmy's out as soon as they can get him out.
I don't know, man. He keeps trying to dodge the bullet. He keeps trying to, find a way around, work the system. I don't want to go.
Yeah,
but
there are a lot of people that think this has all been Jimmy and his camp's manipulation of not wanting to go. But I kind of think Jimmy wants to go. He doesn't want to be involved with this madness. I don't think Jimmy wants to be bothered with this.
And he don't want to go. He don't want to go to a sorry team. Well, what other teams are available that's not sorry? I mean, the rest of the teams you ain't going to win with. I mean, look at it. The Browns, they keeping Baker. If they get rid of Baker, Jimmy don't want to go to Cleveland. That's where your career goes to die.
No, I mean, hey,
you ain't going to spend him there.
Bill, Deshaun owns Cleveland now, so that's not a place to go. You know what?
All right, well, that was good. Well, he made it there. He don't want to go to Seattle. That whole organization's messed up.
Bill, you know what? I'm concerned with that. I don't think the 49ers are going to, if they think he's going to Seattle, they'll hold on to him and they'll trade him themselves. But I think there is a slight possibility. I could see that thing going on in Carolina if he doesn't mind being a Panther. Because you trade the 49ers, we'll take Sam Darnold and a third-round pick, and you guys take Jimmy, right? We bring in Darnold. We got Darnold. Or is that Sam Darnold over there? I think it is. No. What's the kid from the Jets? The red hair. Oh, God.
Andy Dalton.
No. No, I was right the first time. Darnold. Sam Darnold. All right. Darnold comes over to the 49ers. He backs up Trey. All right. Now Darnold's going to come over and say, listen, I don't mind what you guys are doing here, but I'm not going to stay here unless I'm going to be able to compete for the starting spot. If he's my competition, then you guys are going to cheat yourselves. Let me show you what I can do. And then you got that problem because Sudfeld's going to sit back and say, I'm not involved, because he's not, But you got to be careful what you bring over, And the 49ers can then strut and say, listen, we got Sam Darnold, and he's a lot improved than he was when he was with the Jets or the Panthers, and we're willing to take a second-round pick for him. You know, all these jokes that they're going to be doing.
He's not going to the Jets. He's not going to the Jets, and I really doubt he's going to end up in Carolina. And they're not going to release him. You think they're going to be mad to release him to free agency? That ain't happening.
No.
So, you know what?
Yeah, they want something.
Or you want him, you got to trade for him. And they might keep him and might trade him like in week 3, week 4, or might keep him around there, make him look good and get something out of him. They want something good. And this is where a lot of people need to start actually waking up and be concerned because they might keep him. And that's the way it's looking because I don't know, unless the Bucs are willing to do a swap, I don't see it happening.
No, Brady's already making arrangements, I'm pretty sure, to get the kind of people he wants in there. Arians left. And
Now, that's
Brady
who I
owns the
think
place
might
now.
end up in Carolina. That's who I think might end up in Carolina is Tom Brady.
Bill, Carolina doesn't have any players. I mean, they got players, but they're not any. Well,
Maybe that's Tampa. Tampa ain't got nothing. Who they got?
they got a lot of their people.
Who they got that's relevant? Name somebody that's
Well, you still
relevant.
got Big Mike. You got Tampa's
ain't
got a pretty good team.
No, that ain't that great, man. No.
Hey, Bill, if you
I'm
can
sorry,
trade
you'd
Jimmy,
be better off in Carolina.
I know where you're going with this. You're bringing Tom Brady to San Francisco, aren't you?
If you could, but I doubt that'll happen. But who knows? It could happen. But where I'm looking at it is probably going to be stuck with Mr. Garoppolo for one more year. But who knows? He might not be the same Jimmy G that everybody hated. He might come back as the 2017 Jimmy G, just so he can end up in a good team and get us a ring. What would you say to this? To all the people, I was one of them that criticized him. Jimmy G stays with the 49ers one more year, comes out, balls, show that he's really good, wins us a Super Bowl. What would you say to that?
Well, it's going to be a big problem because now Jed York, no matter what Kyle and John want to do next, is not letting Jimmy leave if he wins the Super Bowl, especially if he dazzles from week 1 to week 17. This is why I'm saying,
but then we got the problem of Jimmy saying, I want to trade.
Nah, what he'd want is too much money. And, because Super Bowl, you win a Super Bowl, and especially if you had a lot to do with it, you're going to command Zach. Boy, can you imagine Dak Prescott? I mean, Dak's sitting over there at $40 million. Deshaun's getting $250 million guaranteed. Now Jimmy's sitting there talking about, look, you know what? I'm not going to go $250, but I'm going to be $230. Quarterbacks are out of control, Bill. So, 49ers
There's no way Corral would allow that to happen. He would trade him.
That's what I'm saying. So
we haven't started to make it anyway. Yeah, we would trade him and get at least we would get our draft picks if he does that we want.
Yeah, and see that's why I say in order to avoid this madness, Jimmy needs to go before the season starts. Now I know that Trey Lance is going to have to come in and keep the team winning though, because like Fly Guy was saying, we go ahead and suffer a couple of years. No, we don't have time to suffer a couple of years because those guys that are on the team now, those are Super Bowl potential guys are their time is going to be up another 2 years. We don't have time for Trey to struggle. He's got to come in guns blazing.
That's why I think they're going to stay with Jimmy. If they can't get Brady, they're going to stay with Jimmy, and that's just the way it is. Everybody don't like Brady. That. Don't like that. If they can't get Brady, they're going to stick with Jimmy. That's how it's going to go. Brady can't come to the 49ers. It's Jimmy Garoppolo staying to the 49ers.
Yeah, but Brady's not coming without. He's not coming without Gronk, Bill. And knowing Brady, Thompson say, listen, guys, I don't know what you think about Anthony, but I'll tell you what, if you can give me, AB comes back here, I'll tell you, hey, whoa, Tom, no. We brought you in, but don't come in here talking about Antonio Brown because you can go, So now you got, because Tom's going to want to pick his personnel.
Well, that's probably why it won't happen if that's the case. So guess what? It's number 10. The way the things are. Jimmy Garoppolo for one more year.
I like Jimmy, but I don't want to see that mess.
Yeah. But I know you don't like that, but that's just we got to roll with who we got as quarterback, and whoever the front office chooses. Maybe they got a plan, and the way it looks, it could be, very well Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think the outcome would be good. I think our chances would be high.
Well, Bill, but we're gonna listen. I love this conversation. We could do this for hours. Tonight it's just great stuff. Tonight, Bill, we gotta wait till tomorrow to continue, though, okay? Because the production's looking at me like, you guys are going overtime.
Shout out.
We can do that.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. Give me one sec where Shania can hear it.
Is it? Make sure. Are you ready? You ready? In 3, 2, 1. A Niners for Shania and you, Bill.
And before we go, I want to give a shout out to George Kittle. Thank you for showing up at WrestleMania and tormenting those Cowgirl fans.
I love it. And I, Bill. Night, Shania. You guys have a great night. Oh, here he comes. Shh, it's Bethel. Wait for that door to open.
There's no door.
Bethel,
there's no door.
Somebody last time you came into that door, somebody says, God, oil that door. I said, God, I hope Bethel didn't oil that door.
No, I'm in the living room. I was watching some TV. And but I was watching something funny because the Rams love George Kittle so much that they want to take pictures with George Kittle.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Bethel, are there any players around the NFL that you'd love to take a picture of that aren't on the 49ers? I'm trying to. Who would I love taking definitely do a picture with that's not a 49er. There's no Hawks.
It would probably be a player that I would like and a team that I like that I don't mind taking a picture with. But if there's players on other teams that I hate, I would not do that. But it was funny that
because
I seen
George
that.
Kittle,
And,
if he wasn't on our team, George is so funny. You gotta like this guy. I take a picture with Brady in a heartbeat. Brady's we got to know Brady's personality this last year more than ever. I mean, the Super Bowl, Brady's hilarious. Some of the things he was saying and doing, because he didn't do it when he was with the Patriots. Gronk. You know what's so funny? I sound like I like the Patriots, don't I? I do. Gronk and Brady are cool as can be. Who else? Personality players.
Yeah, I was out through all that when Frank Gore was playing, and he was always a phenomenal player.
Oh.
I always loved the demeanor he had when he was playing. It was really good, and he always elevated everybody around his team. He was the kind of person that if you doubted him, he'll show you why you should not doubt him.
Yeah.
And he'll do what he has to do to, even though he wasn't the fastest guy, but when he was on the field, he was. And he had that burst, just to burst out of the hole. And, a lot of the times he would get a touchdown. And, it's always fun to watch, him play. That's why I was.
And Bethel, I've never seen a man who could run 6 inches off the ground. Frank Gore could get lower than anybody I've ever seen and keep moving forward. That's why when I thought he was down half the time, Frank looked like he was down back at the 15. Frank got all the way to the 21. He was running on the ground about 5 inches above the dirt. Oh, Frank! So Gore is amazing. I don't care what anybody says.
That's why I was sad when he left. And even though he left, he was still getting those 1,000 yards in other teams. And a lot of players that have done that, it's rare when they will do it. And Frank Gore was one of those players. So it's not like a lot of these guys where that I've seen team leave other teams and A lot of them, it's rare when they get 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
remember that first year we played against Frank when he came back? Was that Jimmy T or was that which team was he on? And just gave us
the
fits.
Jets.
I knew he was going to beat us up that day. Was it the Jets? I think you're right.
No, he didn't beat us with the Jets. He hardly didn't do a lot with the Jets.
Some team they beat us, and Frank was the main reason. And he just said, "Yeah, but they got a lot of young players, and they should be all right." What was the first team he went to when he left us? I think that was the game.
That's probably something I forgot because I don't want to probably remember something like that. So it just
because I knew he was going to hurt us because that was before Kyle joined us. It was between Jimmy T and Chip Kelly. I forget which one, but yeah, I think it was Chip Kelly. Actually, I can't remember. But anyway,
I always love Frank Gore, and I'm happy when I heard that he was and I think he even said that he's thinking of joining either the scout team or joining to be something on the 49ers because he loves watching young talent and see how young talent grows and try to do something like that so he could help the 49ers get some young talent.
Yeah. He'll be out there scouting around in the front office capacity in some way. I think that's good because that's what he likes doing. You're right, and that's probably what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, and that would be that'd be something cool to to see. Also because if something happens that we get to Super Bowl, we win a ring or something, then Frank Gore will get one. I think. Will he
That's right.
I think they'll give him one. I'm not sure if they would do something like that. Also,
doesn't the entire everybody on the wait a minute, you got to be on the coaching staff. Who's entitled to a ring when an organization wins? The players are, and and the coaches. Does it go beyond that?
And the backups to get one, I think too.
Oh yeah, if you're out there in uniform, if you're on the team anywhere, you're getting a ring. So.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, Beth, before we run out of time, we got a couple minutes here. Trey Lance is going to come in on the 23rd, and according to Kyle, Kyle's going to be looked to see what progressions he's made since you last seen him. And now Trey's on his own with coaches and players, polishing, trying to get rid of some of the things that maybe might be a question mark in his game. What are you expecting when he gets back? You think some of the things? What are some of the things you hope he corrects for Kyle Shanahan on the 23rd?
The thing that I want him to correct is some of the accuracy. Have him little bit better accuracy because you want him to be how did they say this? You want him to be a quarterback with mobility, and that's the kind of quarterback you want him to be because you want him to be in the pocket, but when things go the wrong way, he has that mobility to get away from it and throw a good pass and, throw when he has to throw with the accuracy. And, that's something that, some of the players that have that mobility, a lot of them don't have that accuracy. They have to work on it for a long time until they get better.
And start to look like Russell Wilson, right? Or Patrick Mahomes. Those are the two guys that I think are the best I've ever seen at being able to throw on the run. Josh Allen, he's not as good as Patrick or Russ, but he's getting there. He's pretty good. So
and that's something that you could learn in the off season. You could do this, you could do that, and you could get out a record and throw the ball and try to hit people in certain places. And somebody that has done that pretty good is Aaron Rodgers. It's just that.
Yeah, no, okay. Aaron's not a runner, but he knows how to dance in the pocket. Aaron Rodgers is the best at that. He can just give himself enough time to get rid of, which is better than running around. But Aaron, he can work that pocket.
Yeah, and that's something that you want Trey to learn, and something. So that's probably good. That's probably a good way if you're gonna watch accuracy. Aaron Rodgers is probably a good one to watch because of the accuracy that he has.
Yeah, he can watch it, but that's not. Aaron may be one of a kind when it comes to doing that, though. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, Beth, we're gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow night looking for you, though. Okay.
All right, Ronbo. Like always, punch the like and subscribe. Let's go Niners.
Thanks, Bethel. Looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
All right, good night.
All right, fam. All right.
All right.
And Bethel, you got to get that door. You know how much I love that door. Okay. Here he goes. Hey, E.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Hey, man, I'll sit back here. We're getting mad about Frank Gore, and they haven't even talked about him going to the Hall of Fame yet. But, there's already conversation out there saying Frank Gore is not an elite running back, and he should never be brought in the same sentence with some of the Hall of Famers that are in the Hall right now as far as running back goes. And, of course, that person's getting beaten up in Twitter. But, there are people out there that go along with that sentiment. Frank Gore's going to come back and retire with us. He's already announced that. He says come back, and him and Jed have worked it out where he's going to have a one-day contract and try to sneak it into a whole year contract. Frank would be funny. Frank's been out on the field on the 23rd. Hey, Coach, I'm ready to go. Frank, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm ready. I just signed a contract. Frank, that's for one day. Oh, my bad.
He's staying on the squad. He ain't going nowhere.
He deserves to play with us, damn it. But anyway, Frank and that and Hall of Fame pushback, if you want to get onto that. And also, Trey Lance has got some things that he's going to have to show Kyle Shanahan on the 23rd. Is he going to be able to nail that? And some of the things you think that really blow Kyle away that he may need to improve upon. E, what do you got going on here? What are you thinking?
I think it's everything. He's a young quarterback, so we're gonna have to deal with it, and we're gonna work with it, and we're gonna stand behind him. But we still gotta, understand that he is a young quarterback. He will have inaccurate passes, bad reads, like Jimmy Garoppolo's. But it's gonna happen. It's just Niner Nation. We're gonna stay faithful and just stay with it. Yeah, just stay with it because, like I said, I think the deep passes will get better with IU, especially I heard they practicing together a lot. And, the middle passes is all Debo all day and Kittle. So, I think it's Trey Sherman. The second running back. I didn't see a lot of him. I wanted to see more from him. And,
and nobody talks about him. I forgot all about him until you just mentioned his name. I forgot all about Trey. I keep forgetting about Trey Sherman because everybody knows about Mitchell.
Be a big factor.
I know it could be, but nobody talks about him in the media.
I don't really want Debo running the ball like he was doing last year. Like he did great, but I don't think I like that kind of stuff.
That's too much of a risk because running backs get hurt all the time. And if my best wide receiver is out there running the ball like that, you're setting him up to get hurt. On occasion, okay, don't do that too often. Debo ran the ball a lot toward the end of the year last year.
I think the thing is, he's our best offensive threat. He just might not be our best wide receiver.
Well, for what the kind of football they play, he is, though. Now, I don't know if they're going to veer away from that concept because Kyle's thing was, contrary to what people believe, Kyle's concept was get the ball to his playmakers, Kittle, Debo, get the ball to the playmakers as fast as possible, take the stress off the offensive line, get them out in open space so they can take advantage of the linebackers and that type of thing. That's what they were doing. Now, I don't know how much they're going to modify that concept with Trey, but that was what was going on last year, and that's what Debo does well. So you got a good point. We don't know, other than what we've seen from Debo, what kind of receiver he is otherwise.
He did throw that deep pass. I think it was like a play action, and Lance ran to the right, but Debo went up and then turned to the left and then caught the ball and ran into the end zone. that, you know, it was like a 37-yard or 40-yard play. So I was like, that looked good. Like, some plays was like, all right.
Yeah. It's all
I
about.
forgot what team it was against, but one of them plays, I was like, okay, look at Lance. The first series of the first game he had was kind of iffy, but then I think that was a game plan too.
Nerves.
Like,
nerves,
game, like
nerves, and
we don't plan for two quarterbacks.
Yeah,
he should have played a lot more.
But can you imagine coming out there for the first time suddenly?
Yeah,
that was pretty scary. Yeah. So, you know, I didn't take that game too seriously. I saw what I thought. I knew I was seeing. And like people thought that was he was supposed to be running. Huh?
He should have been prepared more for that. Like week 1, 2, and 3, he should have had a series in it. So he wouldn't be that shook. And he didn't. He got like one series in or something. But week 4, he only had like 2 series the whole season, maybe. Ain't that when he played though? I'm sorry.
I forgot.
Week 4, something like that.
Yeah, I was early in the season. 4. Yeah. And
then he played 12 or 14 or so.
And then he played the Cardinals starter. And, you know.
And we almost did good with that run. But see, that run got smacked because it's not college no more. You run into some real linebackers.
Also, some of those runs were not because he was designed. The window closed on him. So that's what I'm saying. It's about getting used to this NFL speed. And, of course, rather than take a loss or just have nothing go on in the play, he ran. But now, in the Texas game, I noticed he improved upon that. He did see his openings, and he did fire. So, yeah, he grew.
Yeah. And then a line, we need, we need some help around everywhere, you know, like all teams. But
offensive
you need
line.
something with that line.
He's going to have some better protection, too, because it is still going to take him a while to process. Because Jimmy,
sometimes if you got people in your face.
Yeah, because Jimmy was getting rid of that ball quickly. Trey has not gotten to that point yet. So, you know, you're going to have to give him a little more protection. Otherwise, we're going to see more sacks than we'll see.
A little more. Or it's going to be a little more hectic, and it's going to get crazy out there.
Yeah, and then Kyle's going to start running the ball to death. And then, so the offense falls apart. So, you know, that's why the offensive line, people don't know, that's going to be our first-round pick in the second round. Hey, get an offensive lineman, get a champion offensive lineman, please.
Hopefully. Maybe. I mean, if the man is good, I just want somebody who was going to make an impact, the best player. But see, I wanted to say one thing a lot of people, we can run on 3rd and 6s and 3rd and 8s if they set the play up right. Cal said he can be doing that, but I don't really see him do that. And it makes them get like in the rush passes and the little depths. I'll run that ball on 3rd and 8 and on 4th and 2 if you bring it to me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely
come right at him. Like, stop acting like you scary with it. Like, 3rd and 8 to catch him because a lot of people throw the nickel or the dime out there. Then you double tight him or something. Then you get, personnel. Boom, get him.
See, Kyle can be very conservative at certain moments that you wonder, Kyle, I think he could have made that one. Go ahead and do it. He's going to have, but he'll be, you know what? Sometimes I think one thing I could really depend on with Trey, there'll be times when he does take off where we stay out of that 3rd down situation, I think, kind of often.
Yeah, or correct the 3rd down, 3rd and 5. He, runs the 6 yards and go down. I think he'd be great with that.
You're right.
Yeah.
And the play falls apart. Nobody's open. Trey takes off. I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of that. The only fear factor for me on that one is can he get hurt doing that too often? Because there's going to be times the players don't break down because as much as people believe Trey's fully ready, he's still got to adjust to that NFL attack from hostile attack.
We don't know because I think he got hurt in the first game or something. Yeah. We don't know if he can do 16 or 17 games, 18 games now.
Yeah, that's why Nate said
Jimmy just did it last year. I mean,
and he played busted up and hurt too, boy. I tell you,
was last year he want to play injured. But
so we're going to see. They're going to make some adjustments. He's going to have to escape pain as much as possible, and learn to slide. Trey, the first thing I do is Trey. Listen, you know what? This ain't Dakota. Slide. Okay, you got guys out there that will hurt you.
Yes. And like I said, the new linebacker, he did it. Well, I forgot it was Arizona or something. He tried to go to that goal line, and he tried to get in there. I seen it, but it was like pop, pop. Oh yeah.
I know it's
Yeah.
helmet off,
That was
dragging his
220.
body
Weigh
in.
about 320 pounds.
But Trey showed some toughness. Hey, we got to go though, fam.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for you tomorrow if you got time. Ain't seen you
Thank
in a
you again,
while.
Ronbo. Love you.
Thanks, fam. Love
Word
you
is, I
back.
see you around. I'll be going to sleep on you sometimes. I'm glad you caught me.
All right.
Niners. That's all I can say. Thank you,
All right,
sir.
fam. We'll
Have a
talk
good
tomorrow,
one.
though,
Love
please. Hey, Merrick.
How's it going, Ronbo?
Merrick, man, we're checking out here. We're looking. Frank Gore's already announced he's coming back to sign a one-year contract. So I'm sorry. I want to see that, a one-year contract. A one-day contract long enough to retire as a 49er. And the Hall of Fame conversation is already coming up. Frank's being compared to some of the greatest of all time, but people don't want to really compare Frank to the greatest of all time for various reasons. We believe, unless a lot of us believe, that Frank, just on the merit of going that long and only missing one game a year, averaging out to, is worth its weight in a Hall of Fame jacket. You know? So your thoughts on that. And also, Trey, what's he going to have to improve upon that you've seen when he comes back on the 23rd to make Kyle feel really comfortable with starting him next year? Because that's what Kyle's pretty much saying. During OTAs, he's going to get an idea as to how much progress Trey's made.
Yeah, well, as for Frank Gore, it is kind of sad to see him retire. I think him and Joe Staley were like the top two 49ers who deserved to get a ring before they retired, but sadly that didn't happen.
Yeah. But just could have ran the ball in that Super Bowl instead of trying to pass it. Okay, that's all right. It's fine. It is what it is.
Don't complain like the Seahawks, Ronbo. They said the same thing.
But you know, that's why we can't really laugh at the Seahawks. They did the same stupid thing. They've got Marshawn Lynch. Who the hell's going to stop Marshawn Lynch with 1 yard to go? They threw the ball. Pete. Yeah, I know. Anyway, go ahead, Merrick.
Yeah, man. I think Frank Gore is definitely a good chance to get in. I mean, if Joe Namath can make it, then anyone can. So.
I like the comparison.
Joe Namath threw more picks than touchdowns, and he's still in the Hall of Fame. So.
Stafford's going to catch up with him at some point. Unbelievable. And people talk about Jimmy. Stafford is unbelievable, but still got away with it. God. Anyway.
Yeah. As for OTAs, I am excited to see how hopefully Trey has progressed. I am hoping he'll take off less because I really don't want him to get injured. That would be very bad.
Ooh.
Because I know, like, that Arizona game, he took off a lot. So.
Yeah. That's because, I think he's the kind of person that doesn't. Okay, maybe he missed something. The thing is, things were happening too fast for him. If he goes high or goes low, he had a choice in that, and he took the wrong one, and he got hammered. Because, like you and I know, the NFL is not North Dakota State. There's big guys playing defense that will deal with you. So either slide or leap over the top or something, but don't come in there challenging those guys on defense thinking you're going to run over them. Those are grown men. So, but he'll get that. I'm sure they make that clear to him. Adrenaline was flowing. He woke up the next day, leg was hurting. Yeah, I love the story it tells. Yeah, I woke up, I just felt something in my knee. I called in, and that was the beginning of a rest. So.
Yeah, I'd say the big things that Trey, I'd like to see him work on would be taking off less often and then working on his accuracy and maybe his time of release too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be important because our offensive line is good for running, but if you're gonna pass, take a quick look and get rid of that ball as fast as possible. And that's where you come with the accuracy. If you're getting rid of the ball really quick, sometimes it sails on it. And that's pretty much any quarterback in the NFL. But, that's something he's going to have to get ready for.
Yeah, it is still funny we're debating the Jimmy G stuff. I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Yeah, that's not until he leaves, and even when he leaves, it's going to be a lingering effect, Merrick, because if Jimmy goes somewhere and does well, and we're not, that's going to be a real big problem for a lot of people. Yeah, Trey's going to have time. A lot of people think he's going to come in and just bust ass, but he needs to, Merrick. This is a Super Bowl team. We're not taking a step back. If we're going to make this switch, then we got to keep on winning because look at the personnel we got all around Trey. Look at the defense. Look at the offensive guys. He's got to win. We can't have a losing season next year and having shipped Garoppolo out because contrary to what a lot of people believe, if Garoppolo stayed on the team as healthy, obviously, they're going to go back to the playoffs because they all know how to play together and they know how to get it done. So if we got an upgrade, even if it is a rookie or a second-year player, we've still got to maintain this pace. So, that's the thing. That's why I don't like Nate Sudfeld. If Trey does have it and he goes down, Nate comes in, oh, man.
Well, as long as Trey does half decent, doesn't make tons of mistakes, I think we should win. Or not win, but at least make the playoffs.
Yeah.
NFC isn't as good as it used to be. So,
Merrick, that's a problem, though. The NFC isn't our problem. The AFC West. Okay, you know what? That's 4 games that are going to be tough. I don't know. We played Brady and the Bucks. That's 5.
Don't we play the Dolphins too?
6. Because I don't know what the Cardinals are going to look like this year, though. I don't have any idea because the Cardinals are a hot mess. What did they do last year? They laid an egg at just the wrong time. Are they going to be that again this year? Start off the season red hot and then cool off around week 8 and 9 and squeak by?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so you know what? From what we just counted, 10-7. If we can do 10-7, I think, because the rest of the NFC West has also got to play those same teams in AFC West, and they got to play. I don't know if Tom Brady's on everybody's schedule in the NFC West, but maybe the Dolphins are. We might be able to beat the Dolphins. So, I do worry about the Dolphins have a good defense, too. Now they got Tyreek Hill.
Yes. Tyreek Hill does concern me.
Let's not worry about that yet. It's anxiety I don't want to go through. We'll see how the schedule's lined up. I mean, hey, stagger those teams. So if we see the AFC West, okay, we could see Russell Wilson and the Broncos first. A little bit down the line, okay, Chargers, fine. Raiders. America, I cannot lose to the Raiders. No. God, I hate that. They'll be bugging us forever. Because, I mean, the Broncos are not a bunch of clowns. They don't have when they win, they've been there, done that, right? And as far as the Chargers go, I think their organization, too, they don't have a lot of Charger fans running around talking smack. But you lose to the Raiders, and oh, my God, here they come. Oh, yeah. Never get any break. And then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they lost Tyreek Hill, they're going to still be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they still got everybody else. Who else?
Knowing how the NFL makes our schedule, we're going to have to play all those 4 teams back to back to back to back.
Hey, they can't do it because we got to play some of our opponents out of the NFC West. They just can't do it. Can you imagine back to back to back and then play Tampa Bay?
It's going to be a nightmare.
And then we get an easy game in comparison with the Miami Dolphins. Mike McDaniel's going to be saying, okay, listen, I know what they're going to do, guys. I'm going to get together with the defense. Guys, go ahead and work on some of the things we talked about over here. I'm going to go talk with our defensive coordinators, and I see if I can come up with an antidote for what Kyle likes to do. Hey, Merrick, this is why I don't like, especially in that position, I don't want our coaches hanging around. Well, he went to the AFC, though. Damn it. Mike McDaniel, of all people. The guy's a walking... He's a computer with a brain. I mean, with a face and a body. How? We'll be fine. Merrick, I'm not worried. We got this. I'm not losing this year.
I hope not.
You tell him I'm under siege. Merrick, anything else you want to say? Because I've sitting here talked up all your time. What else you want to add?
Oh, can't think of too much. I'm just hoping for the biggest thing I want to avoid is just injuries. As I said, injuries are the main thing that kill us every year.
Every year. I know. Anyway.
And it's always key players going down.
Always.
It's never just, it's just a backup. It's always, it's Trent Williams again or it's Debo or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to hear about Sudfeld getting hurt. Never. He's going to be the most healthiest guy on the team. I'm not Dante Johnson. I like Dante. I'm not going to use him for an example like that anymore. But anybody that never get McKivitz, he's never going to get hurt. I think he did get hurt last year, though. That's not funny, Ronbo. Anyway, Merrick, I'll see you tomorrow if you got some time, huh?
All right, I'll try.
All right, looking forward to that, man. Night, Merrick.
Yeah, you should also try to kick marketing blow out of the chat. He's being annoying.
Marketing is, he's there for, you know what, marketing, he has his fans in there that like to beat him up, and they beat up on each other. So, as long as he stays within the realm of rules, I'm not going to throw him out. He likes us. You look at Ready to Go marketing, some of those guys.
I think they're all closeted. They
love us. They love hanging around us. They can't have anytime we're together, they want to be in there. It makes them feel good about themselves. They're rubbing elbows with some of the greatest fans of all time.
I think they're all closeted Niner fans.
Probably. Hey, Don Bird, you can come back too. We got used to you. We like you. Joseph Smiley, you stay the hell up out of here, man. You and Tommy Testosterone, boy. Anyway, Merrick, I'll tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow if you got time for us. All right?
All right.
All right, man. Night. AJ. AJ, man, we've been looking for you, man. We've been looking at you for a while. What you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What are you doing, AJ, man? AJ, we're looking at Frank Gore's coming back. You know about that, right? Frank's going to come back and sign that one day, like he told us 2-3 years ago. And, he's coming in to retire as a 49er.
It's about time that we do something right. They're doing everything else. The fiasco is real. So I think that's cool, man. I think that's good, Ronbo. But I have a problem with the title. The title of what you named the whole show about, which was something about in regards to Trey Lance, right?
Oh, yeah. Lance, I was just repeating what Kyle
it
said.
Should be. Kyle said. Oh, okay. So you're repeating what Kyle said?
Yeah, Kyle said on the 23rd, they don't have a lot of time together. What Trey works on his own time is something that I'm hoping he progresses. I'm going to make judgments on him May 23rd when he comes back in for the 9 OTA days, and he'll assess from the progress there. And that was Kyle. You're never going to put me making up things. That Grant does that, but you'll never catch me doing that. I never come in with my own opinion about things. I usually come in with whatever's being said in the news. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, because I was like, wow, this is interesting when you put, and I was like, oh, okay. And I don't have no problem, right or wrong, of how you feel on the fact of the Niners and their whole little fiasco as far as management and GM and fans and all that. But I still think it'd be more like, for me, the title is kind of clever. So if he said it, he said it. But I would also be more focused on, let's say, Kyle Shanahan rather than
AJ, listen, you know what? Since you brought that up, now there are other coaches around the league. How much of a window are you going to have for Kyle Shanahan? And some of the things you don't like. Point out the things that you don't like that you think can be improved upon. And who would you like to bring in as a coach for the 49ers, a head coach?
Who would I like to bring in? Man, I don't know. Sean McVay just.
Tell me what's wrong with
Sean McVay just got one up on us, but I would think I don't know this off the top of my head. I think I would
Probably go with somebody from one of those. Not what's his name? That's really good right now for Buffalo. I think he's coordinator. I will go with, but they got a good quarterback too. So I'll probably go with somebody with some great stature of offensive calling, and just go from there. Let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because most of the great coaches are already working, so that's why I was wondering. And some people think
it's slim pickings.
Yeah, and some people think some college coaches could come in, but you look at Urban Meyer and the boy, what he did in Jacksonville. Urban Meyer needs to be brought up on charges, man, because that was the worst job ever. And some of the stories I heard about how he was running the team and talking to people, man, people ought to be able to bring him up on lawsuits.
Yeah, it was bad. I heard. It was pretty bad, but
because some coaches don't know the difference between college players and pro players. You can't treat pros the same way you treat your college kids, and I can't believe he didn't know that.
I just want a good old leatherneck Jim Harbaugh style of play, probably for a couple months again, and then get somebody with some offensive guru style of playing the calls. I mean, playing the defense really well, working their magic. But I mean, like you said, it's hard to do. I just still think that Kyle should be worried about his job instead of so secure because, dude, you doing some things that's nice and sweet, but the decision making on management, I just think that's the only thing I have with Kyle. And if you're gonna keep Kyle, you're gonna keep saying these things, maybe because they want to keep the lid so tight that they want to keep everybody guessing. So they want to make sure that he doesn't leave yet.
Well,
but then that doesn't make sense because you need the money, you need the space. So some other things, I'm like, wow, we got a lot of issues still in that area.
Well, the thing is, Kyle's he's pretty much secured himself for a while now because when you go to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years and you get all the way to the edge like that, not many teams can say they can do that, right? Or have done that, actually, to be honest. So Kyle is safe now. Jed's never going to give up on him now. He already renewed his contract, right, for 6 years. Was that last year? Unless Kyle quits, if he makes a couple more playoffs like that, especially when you get all the way to the NFC Championship Series, he's not going anywhere. Because you're not going to get – McVay got away this year. He should have lost the 49ers in FCCG, but he did get away. And, because we beat both Cleveland and L.A. last year. So I think the Browns would have also lost the 49ers. But we have to stay healthy. The 49ers cannot come up with these injuries at the wrong time like we love to do.
Well, Rudy, according to Rudy, I seen him come through and do his thing. That Rudy with all that Niner paraphernalia, and he was all gluten low-key.
Smoking a cigar. I couldn't believe the cigar. I can't get over it. Rudy, I can't get over the cigar,
man. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to stick it to us. Oh, man. It was a bad hair day for us. It was a bad hair day for that little I was like, here he come with his facts. I mean, he has some good points, though, man. I mean, he has valid points to say that.
Rudy knows.
McVay.
He knows the game. I'm not going to take that away from him. It's the thing is, so Rudy's waited for a long time. AJ, we beat them 6 times.
I know.
That's complete ownership. And we almost beat them 3 times in 1 year. They got away in that NFCCG. They didn't really beat the 49ers. They escaped through a couple of key mistakes. But otherwise, the ownership of the Rams is real. So,
it definitely. Yeah, man. So, hey, man, call Anthony Johnson. Is he going to be our little special teams consultant? What's his position exactly? The big black brother? Anthony. The one that used to be in charge of Lynn.
Yeah, he's assistant head coach. Assistant to the head coach.
Man, I hope he filled the gap because I really liked him when he was in Chargers because I was rooting for him over Kyle at the time because I said he's he's a leader among men. He doesn't have all the great accolades as far as genius mode of doing all this creative stuff supposedly, but man, now we got both of them. What's going to be our excuse when we don't get past 12 games or
10 games. You know, what's gonna be our excuse, man? So
No,
I don't know. We might take a back seat again. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I know it's hard to see what's going to happen now. You know what? I want to know how good that AFC West is really going to be, because you know what? Right now, the AFC West looks like the division of the NFL. Now, I want to see if they really are, because a lot of times you make these predictions too early in the season starts, and you look at that team just fizzle out, or you see one or two of them, or maybe somebody gets hurt or something, you know? Because Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders. Oh, that really bothers me. Devontae. Aaron, I blame you for that. Okay, anyway, because the thing is, Derek Carr and Devontae know each other really well. They've been wanting to do this for a long time. So I suspect that's going to be a good connection. Okay, so the Raiders are going to be tough. All right. And then you got the Chiefs. I mean, it goes without saying. You know the Chiefs are going to be tough. So, you know,
you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad as hell if Raiders get closer to the championship ring, and if they win.
Because I'm going to blame it all on Aaron Rodgers. I said, Aaron, you know what? Look at you. You and the Green Bay Packers are dragging ass, right? Because you didn't care about Devontae, and now he's overdoing what he would be doing with you over in Las Vegas. You could have spoken up for him. You could have made it happen. You're Aaron Rodgers. They got to listen to you. You could have took a little less. Man. You need $50 million a year to be comfortable? You know, I just can't believe he did that.
He did. And then, man, and one last thing, Minnesota Vikings coach, what's his name? I think he's pretty decent. Just off the top of my head.
The one that just got fired?
Wait, the new coach? The one that just barely... He only been there a year. He got fired.
No, they just got a new coach in Minnesota, and they got rid of the one that'd been there for a while. I forgot his name.
Okay. All right. Well, hey man, skies is blues. Let's rock. It's all up to you now, Ronbo. You gotta make production and everybody. You gotta make Lil Cat and everything else come through for us, bro.
Yes, indeed.
That's all on you. Soul on ice.
Yeah. Well, we should have a good year. We're gonna have. You know what? You know why we're gonna have a good year? Because it's such a mystery. And when we won in 2019, I thought we would be good, but I didn't know we were gonna be that damn good, right? 2020, I thought, oh yeah, we got this, boy. Nothing gonna stop the Niners now. Got our beat. You know, since we got earned again. AJ, I don't put no jinx and things, but here, AJ, every other year, this is what we do. Remember 2017? Yeah. We came out and won 5 last game. We lost every game. We won every game. When Jimmy G first came, we won every game. Ran the board. I said, I didn't even believe it. I said, man, ain't no way we won the whole board on the way to the season. Man, come on, man. We don't even know this dude, man. He just got here. We ran it. Okay, so 2018, great expectations. All right, 49ers are ready. Injury time. There you go. Niners beat. 2019. Oh, man. What do we got now? We're going to win this? We're going to go to the Super Bowl. Man, we ain't going to the Super Bowl, man. Y'all, with this team has no maturity. They went to the Super Bowl 5 minutes away from winning it. So 2020 comes, I say, man, I know they got maturity. We know what we're doing. Let's go. And you know what happened?
Blessings, bro. I'm glad you're still here, man, with all what's going on, despite the drama. You 10 toes down, unlike prime time. for real, man. You be easy,
what is it like
bro.
walking without a toe like that, AJ? I mean, you know, there's no way to. Wow, they just cut it off.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, that's gonna happen to us if they, they supposedly the way you, the way you see it, right? If we keep Jimmy, we might make it again, but. I think we just gotta make a decision. I really do, man. Really, it's that year, and maybe he does do it. But May 10th, he gets rid of him, or we have to hold on to him, and then he'll be a backup. That'll be scary to have Jimmy to come back and do all what he did all over again, and then playoff come, he just started pulling a Kyle Murray or one of them regular Joe Schmo quarterbacks, man. There's Greg Papa. You remember Greg Papa? Remember that guy, that announcer for Niners and all that?
Yeah.
He was getting interviewed by some YouTube guy. I think called. Not to give them any credit or anything, but I was watching a little bit of what he was saying. And he was just he just schmoozed all over Jimmy G. I don't know how that's even.
Yeah, I saw that.
People like him. Some people don't.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, wow.
Well, the funny thing about Greg Papa is he was not a huge Jimmy fan earlier in the year. So he all of a sudden came around. I think, okay, AJ, I tell you how Jimmy won a lot of people over, other than the people that just deep down hate him and don't care. Jimmy showed character this year by being hurt and continuing to play. Normally, Jimmy gets hurt, he's done. But this year he got hurt. The 49ers were down, out as far as the playoffs went. He went, after the Chicago game, the 49ers start rolling and rolling. Pretty soon, the first thing you know, they're in the playoffs. And then, near the playoffs, they needed one more win. And it was all up to the Rams to stop the 49ers. They could have saved themselves a lot of heartache. The Rams had to stop the 49ers from getting in when they had a chance in L.A. They had us down by, 17 points? And
the
49ers came back and they got them. And Jimmy was a part of that. So, for a lot of people, they recognize that, and for those that don't like him, they didn't notice. But the thing is, you don't know what Jimmy's going to be like next year. He could get hurt right away again. Because one thing that is promised, Jimmy may be fine when he's healthy, and the team's probably going to win. But when Jimmy's not going to stay there. He's not going to make 17 weeks. I used to argue about this all the time. People say, man, Jimmy's going to get hurt. I said, man, you don't know he's going to get hurt. It's football. But no, it's true. Jimmy's going to get hurt. That's what he does. He may win 5 or 6 games, but after that, he's going down. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't have that.
Like I said, between you and Lil Cat and maybe the other guy I used to call all the time, Nighthawk or somebody. I don't know. We need some type of guru to come through again for us, man.
Good luck, people.
Yeah, man. So good luck, man. Good luck for everything you do tonight,
Thanks,
tomorrow. All right.
I'll be looking for you too, AJ, because we don't talk to you often, man. You only come in every now and then, so we look forward to them every now and then times.
Man, I got 2 black guys to look through the glass for Kyle Shanahan with this no Super Bowl. 2 black guys. All right, man.
Hey. Have a good night, fam. Look forward to talking to you later.
All right.
Night, AJ. And fam, I'm gonna go. Getting hungry again. I always get hungry. Man, how much calories you can burn eating. I'm talking. Barack O'Neill says 2 full seasons starting, 2 NFCCGs. I'd trade him too. Barack, thanks for that contribution. Fam, thanks for the contribution tonight, guys. Big show. Tobin, Ernst, Barack. Fam, don't forget, subscribe. I submit somebody in the chat. I said, subscribe. And hit that like, fam. I'll be back tomorrow because I can stop talking 49 football. Fam, you know I love you. Nighty!